Time is limited to determine your eligibility for benefits, so go to cashida.com. There's no upfront cost to you. To see if you qualify, visit cashida.com.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Emily Neal's 70-inch TV. Because after watching her second-grade students yell at each other for hours, there's nothing Emily enjoys more than watching super-rich housewives also yell at each other. Why? Because those women are not her responsibility. And that's why her TV is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Rita, Jorge, let's bring the nail gun over here.
Jose stands tall atop his sustainable flooring company.
Totally. It's renewable and moisture resistant, but we have several green options too. Or we got some beautiful reclaimed oak.
But floored by his success, he needs to hire more installers.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. here on Monday, September 9th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect partly cloudy skies with a high of 91 in hour one of today's show. We'll recap LSU's victory over the Nicholls St Colonels, and we'll recap what we saw from Saints-Panthers week one. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from the University Club, starts now.
Let's go, baby, let's go.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah, they said I gotta come off the bench.
Now, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome in, OTB, and the Who Dat Nation is back. That's right, baby. Show him the Carfax. We'll get into it all. Another great weekend of football just happened. And, guys, I don't want to get ahead of my skis here.
But let me get ahead of my skis here.
But did we go straight past a scoonch and into a dollop of fall? Because yesterday morning felt amazing. This morning is infusing me with life right now. I know for many places in the world this would not be described as an autumnal crisp, but for me, I might as well be sitting somewhere in Vermont with the brown leaves floating around me and snows, the hint of snow in the air. It feels incredible out here.
I've got a hoodie on out
by
here.
the way, guys. We are outside. We're at the U Club. We're here for the LSU Alumni Annual Golf Classic, benefiting the LSU Alumni Association. Sold out tournament today. Congratulations to everybody who helped put it together. Ton of great sponsors, including Coca-Cola, Mockler Beverage, Boot Up Customs, Triad Newton Group, Bayou Apparel, and tons more. So shout out the LSU Alumni situation. What's up, guys? How we feeling today?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling fantastic. This might be, the first time ever that every team that OTB roots for got a victory on the same weekend.
Yes.
Saints, Cowgirls,
Yep.
LSU, Chargers.
Yep. So at first I was going to say, well, just in the NFL, but then I remembered LSU did win the game. It just, the damage was already kind of done in many ways. So we'll get into all of that. But I think you have to, you know what? Let's go ahead and get this thing started with our friends at Tiger Labor Staffing.
It's time to get to work, courtesy of Tiger Labor and Staffing, where they can help take care of screening, training, payroll, and more. Now, for starters.
Yeah, so I think to start today, I think we have to start with the New Orleans Saints and the Who Dat Nation. And I know, look, if you're listening and you're like, all right, LSU, trust me, we're going to get to that. There's a ton to break down there. But going into this game, we talked about it. after the USC loss, and not even knowing about some of the disappointment that would come out of this last Saturday night, we talked about what an opportunity this was for the New Orleans Saints to kind of become heroes a bit, or maybe not heroes, right? But just to give us something to latch on to.
Yeah.
Because football and the football morale has been very low around here. I mean, we almost literally stopped talking about the Saints in the preseason because every time we did, everybody just yelled at us to shut up and that you didn't care and blah, blah, blah. So we stopped playing Dennis Allen sound. We stopped telling you about the practice reports because it was normally like, hey, the offense looked really good. And everybody said, I don't want to hear about the offense looking good in practice. Okay, I get it, right? So you combine that. And we were being all positive about LSU. I don't know, it looked pretty good, 2-2, maybe playoff team, blah, blah, blah. And then immediately get to week one, LSU falls apart in Vegas, and suddenly it feels like everything stinks. And then Sunday rolls around. And from the first drive until the final whistle, the New Orleans Saints completely dismantled the Carolina Panthers in every single phase of the game. And just as a little cherry on top to reinforce what a great Sunday it was to kind of lift up the morale of the football troops here in the boot, the Atlanta Falcons look like garbage. They lose to 6 field goals from Justin Fields. Kirko Chains is more like Kirko Picks. And Derek Carr is damn near perfect as the Saints roll to a victory yesterday, beating the Panthers 47-10.
Yeah, they did everything that they had to do. And, look, Carolina is barely an NFL team, but that doesn't matter. Like, you have to take advantage of that. And the Saints haven't always done that in the past. And so you've got a bad team in front of you. You're at home. What do? You go finish them, and you finish them early. And that was really impressive. And I know we're going to talk a lot of Derek Carr. And I hope we see that next week. My God, I hope we do. I've told y'all all offseason, I don't think he's good, but I hope he is because it makes this show better. It makes the state better. I want to be wrong in this. So far, so good on that front. But Alvin Kamara as well.
I know.
He looked like he had a new life, a new ability to actually go out there and be creative, which he hasn't had in years because it was just the same run over and over and over again. I thought the best job that Kubiak did was he kept the Panthers off balance. He didn't allow them to hone in on what they were doing like so many defenses were able to do with Pete Carmichael. So was it a bad opponent? Sure, but that doesn't matter. It's the NFL. And when you win 47-10, no, they're bad, but it doesn't matter. When you win 47-10, that is dominance. That is you doing the right things over and over again. And schematically, I was highly impressed with both the offense and the defense.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I don't want to go I don't want to, like, yeah, the Panthers are bad, but as you just said, it is the NFL. But we did just break down last week about how good the defense was last year. That, yeah, from a points per game perspective, they weren't the best because they weren't put in great positions, which you saw that again, right?
Yeah.
But that is a defense that, yardage-wise, was one of the best in the entire NFL. And we talk about them adding Jadeveon Clowney, and maybe they could do that same
You lose Brian Burns, showed last night or yesterday.
But you go 9 of 9. You score all 9 possessions against which was a pretty good defense last year. And, yeah, the Saints defense dismantling Bryce Young, literally nothing surprising about that.
How surprising is it he's that bad, though?
That is weird because there's a part of me as I'm watching the game, I'm like, is this situational, right? Because think about Tua. Tua under Brian Flores was bad. And I know not this bad, because I'm going through my thought process.
Right.
So I'm like, you think about Tua. He's under Flores. He's a bust. He sucks. He gets a good offensive coach. All of a sudden, he's one of the better quarterbacks in the entire NFL. And the NFL is littered with examples of guys who obviously were situationally dragged down. They get to a better spot, and they end up being way better. But where it's tough to get there with Bryce Young, and me and Moose were talking about this before the show, is some of those overthrows,
Yeah.
Like it's not just that. And granted, the Carolina from Tepper sucks. The owner sucks. Like, the owner said something from the top down. The franchise is as dysfunctional as any in the NFL. Bryce Young is not being put in a position to succeed, but there are still plays in front of him. that if there were glimmers, like even in Flores' era, Tua would make like some of those throws, right?
Right.
Like Young just looks like such a shell of the player that once terrified college defenses across the nation, and he just can't put the ball in the windows that the NFL requires.
Honestly, T-Bob, he looks like he won a contest and got the ability to go be an NFL quarterback for a day.
He's just so tiny.
That's how – no, I mean, like he had his size, but I'm just talking about when the ball snapped, it looks like there is zero plan. Like there is no plan. We haven't watched film. We don't have, a scheme to go against whatever the defense is going against. But, look, you get them another time here in the season. That is good for you if you're the New Orleans Saints. And even though he looked like that, the defense was getting after him. Like Alontae Taylor, that performance that he had coming off the edge.
3 sacks.
The Saints DB room, which we actually talked about as one of the biggest positives on this team all season long.
In the entire NFL.
They are so versatile. They can do so many different things. And like Alontae Taylor might have a game where he doesn't come off the edge one time. It might be somebody else. But that's the beauty of having those multiple guys back there. I'd say 5 or 6 guys that you can really change up and do so many different things with.
Bro, we even got an old school Tyrann Mathieu forced fumble, still somehow ends up recovering the fumble as well. The Badger is just magic. Like if you go, I was just laughing so hard watching the replay because it's a classic Tyrann forced fumble, but his ability to be a magnet for the ball, like it's bouncing around, a million guys have a chance in it, and yet who comes up with it? Freaking 32, because of course he does. So look, man, again, you know what I'm going to do, man? I'm going to enjoy football on a week-by-week basis, and I'm going to react to what I'm seeing in front of my face. And so if you want to come here for some sort of measured optimism, if you want to come here for some sort of, well, it's the Carolina Panthers, you got the Dallas Cowboys next week. Good. F the Cowboys. Who gives a damn? Yeah, they looked really good too. I don't care. Because, again, what I saw this week is a performance that speaks to a team. Of course they're not as good as they look this week, right? It's impossible to be. I mean, think about the dominance, not just offensively, in all 3 phases of the game. Your offense scores all 9 possessions. Your defense forces 3 turnovers, only allows 10 points. On special teams, your kicker goes 4 of 4 with multiple 50 yards, including a 57. You get a punt block. You get excellent punt returns, a good kick return. It was about as perfect of a game as you could play. But the thing is, there was a lot of pressure this was the debut. This is the only data point of the Clint Kubiak offense that we had. And so while it may not look this perfect, there is no doubt that you have upgraded massively at offensive coordinator going from Stinky Pete to Clint. I mean, look at Chris Olave, 2 catches for 11 yards. You're taking advantage of your weapons, guys. The ball is spread out. You've revived Alvin Kamara. Jamal Williams got involved. Taysom Hill averaged 7 yards a carry in the run game. Yeah. He had multiple catches. You put him at quarterback. Rashid Shaheed, nearly 200 total yards, 3 catches, 73 and a tud. He had
long punt return, 47-yard punt return?
He had a 47-yard punt return. So on the day, 3 punt returns for 60 yards, 1 kick return for 33 yards. It was a great day. But I guess my main overall takeaway, I'm happy for Derek Carr. Hell yeah, Carfax. Shout out to the Carneys. My balls are feeling safe on this beautiful autumnal morning.
You said Friday.
No.
Stepping that back. No. We got the audio of that, actually.
No. Top 12 quarterback. Said it the entire time. But the story is not Derek Carr as much as it is Kubiak breathing life into this offense as a whole. Now, if I wanted to give Carr love, probably my favorite part of that first touchdown to Shaheed was he had pressure in his face.
He stood in the pocket.
And we keep talking about how he struggles with pressure in his face, and that was 3rd down. Was it 3 and out maybe? No, I don't think it was 3 and out. You'd already gotten a couple first downs. But still, 3rd down, staring you in the face, right? Are you going to go off? Are you going to have to punt? Everybody's disappointed. A pass rush in your face, and you deliver a strike for a touchdown, and everything gets started there, and then the rest of the game is just a snowball that the Panthers could not get control of. So a fantastic day for the New Orleans Saints. And really Clint Kubiak especially, as we started joking about how we were basically painting him as the savior, and he looked every bit of that and then some, putting together a performance that goes beyond anything you ever would have expected.
Yeah, I'm right there with you as far as the creativity of the offense and, just not lining up and doing the same thing over and over again, getting multiple people involved. Like even having a plan for Jamal Williams and like what he did. Like he was basically running 4-minute offense for the entire game, but he was successful because they didn't just line up and run the same play over and over again. And I thought getting everybody involved, a game in which Chris Olave had 2 catches and you still go out there, you score 47 points. I mean, Foster Moreau had a big day offensively. I mean, it was just guy after guy after guy. And then the offensive front. For as bad as they looked in the preseason, they held up against a pretty good defensive line. Guys that have made plays, made Pro Bowls before, and I thought they held up nicely.
I think the entire justification of, some of the takes that maybe the preseason offense was pretty vanilla, right, pretty run-of-the-mill. And what this is something that we've talked about a lot in relation even to LSU and Blake Baker and what you wanted to see there, which is how much better can a player look like if you put them in a better position to succeed? Can you make a bad player average? Can you make an average player good? Can you make a good player great? And I still don't think this Saints offensive line is even though Fuanga looks really good. I do like Taliesin quite a bit. I don't think the Saints offensive line's like really good or one of the better in the league, but scheme can help you immensely, right? When the defense, like Jake's saying, when you're calling plays that is keeping the defense on their heels, when you're spreading the ball around so that Shaheed has 3 catches, Moore has 4, Kamara has 5, Juwan Johnson has 2, Jamal has 1, Olave has 2. Kamara gets 15 carries, Williams gets 11, Taysom Hill gets 5. Like when you're doing this, it helps everybody. It's like the last 6 weeks when all of a sudden you just start doing play action last year and suddenly the O-line's blocking better and having more success.
Right.
So, like Micah Parsons is going to, he's going to have his moments next week against Trevor Penning and whatnot. But this was a real commentary on kind of masking your personnel's weaknesses, highlighting their strengths, and making them look better overall than what they looked like previously.
So Eric McCoy, by the way, is kind of the thing that gets everything kind of started right there in the middle. I think he's actually probably playing the best that he has in his career. And when you have that solid piece right there in the middle, I think it's going to help you. It's going to help guards. And you played a couple of different guards here in this game. I thought the tackles were great. But Eric McCoy just continues to be consistent. And he continues to be somebody that you can count on. And, again, like going back to it, your quarterback struggles the most with pressure right in his face. Well, if you can solidify the middle with great center play and okay guard play, like he's going to help so many different things out. And so definitely giving an attaboy to the entire offensive line for what they did and compared to what they were and what we thought they were going. Even Trevor Penning played okay.
Yeah, he's fighting out there. I mean, go look at the first touchdown. That's where the pressure comes from, but it's not the best technique, but he is fighting his ass off. And he looked good in the run game. Everybody did. And last point I'll make here. There was so much hope for the resuscitation of Alvin Kamara, right? The McCaffrey-like resuscitation. The same thing that happened to Christian McCaffrey when we hit to San Francisco. And it's just one game, but again, as the only data point that we have, maybe the best part of the day is actually Alvin Kamara looking like that threat once again and proving that, no, there's still gas left in this tank. This dog can still run. So a fantastic day for the New Orleans Saints. We can talk about it. Coming up next, though, we'll get into LSU. What did you see Saturday? Jake was on the call on the LSU Sports Radio Network this Saturday. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
Go to Community Steel Company, communitysteelco.com, communitysteelco.com. Already over this morning for you in Gonzales, Louisiana. All of your steel needs. by the local guys, okay? They buy the steel straight from the wholesaler. They manufacture all the purlin, tubing, steel building, sheet metal, roofing, accessories all by themselves, which means there's no middleman jacking up the price of the back end, which means you get the best price, and you get actual human beings to talk to and form relationships with. Go with the local guys. In Gonzales, Louisiana, go with Community Steel Company.
Yeah, like T said, they've already been open for about 18 minutes now, and so they open early, so you can come check them out. They can have a conversation with you, kind of show you around what they have. But if you can't get there today, that is okay. Throughout the state of Louisiana, they can help you. That's commercial, residential, whatever you might need. 225-647-2020 is the phone number. Again, give them a call. Let them know you heard on OTB and what you're looking for. And then you can always go online, communitysteelco.com.
It's an everyday thing here. We work horses in the mornings and we work on the property during the day, and without these John Deere tractors, you know, it'd almost be impossible to keep up with the place. I've dealt with some of the other colors and stuff, and I never really got the response back that I get from John Deere, you know. We really enjoy dealing with Sunshine. They're good people. They always check on us and make sure our equipment's running, and we love them. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a
Welcome back to Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, what happening, y'all? Welcome back. Me and Hess on site here, enjoying some of this beautiful morning weather at the U Club Golf Course for the LSU Alumni Golf Tournament. Great energy in the air. It looks like it's going to be a great day. Dane with $5 Super Chat. Good morning, OTB. Jacob, great job calling the game Saturday night. I listened to Doug Morrow for many years. You've done an excellent job replacing him.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Doug's a legend, did it for almost 50 years, and so big shoes to fill, to say the least, but I've had a lot of fun doing it. Finally got my first dub. I was 0-2 before that point, so got a victory, so maybe it's not me. I was starting to wonder if it was, so no, I'm enjoying it. First time I get to go to Williams-Brice ever. coming up this weekend. So looking
with
forward
College
to that.
Game Day.
I know, which.
How about it, dude?
It's interesting. It's interesting. But hey, before we move on, I know my son's in the car right now. Happy 15th birthday to Jackson Troy Hester.
Hey, wow! The Chargers gave him a week 1 dub
I know.
for
So I was
his
about to say,
oh, I know he's ecstatic
one where they
right
finished
now.
the game too.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't know a life where that happens, and so it took 15 years, but they finally gave it to him. So shout out to Jack. He's got a JV game a little bit later today, so hopefully he can go out there and dominate and have a great birthday.
Yeah, one of my favorite videos from over the weekend. Not nearly as great as the Northern Illinois post-game interview with the coach, but the Chargers locker room scene after the game was pretty fantastic with Harbaugh and J.K. Dobbins and everybody else. The vibes were immaculate for the Los Angeles Chargers, which is not a sentence that has been uttered too many times over the past couple of decades.
Yeah, since 2011.
Yeah, that's true. Say decade and a half. My bad.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to intersperse this with some Kelly sound, but LSU, Nicholls. I have not rewatched the film yet. I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all I'm not watching film on Sundays anymore this year. Sundays are going to be my kind of just chill and reset day. Tonight I'll do a deep dive, and we'll do our in-depth film reviews, probably hour 2 on Tuesdays, maybe hour 1. We'll see. But LSU wins. They beat Nicholls. I don't even remember what it was.
44-21.
Yeah, 40. There you go. 44-21. But even though you end up pulling away at the end, the damage was already kind of done in terms of how people are going to feel about this game. We said it coming in. This is that classic lose-lose game where it doesn't matter if you win. It's about how you win. And even if you would have won dominantly, it would have been like, okay, whatever, it's Nicholls. Instead, though, you come out there, and normally I say things, we used to say things in the Les Miles era, like, or the prognosticators would be like, oh, they were playing with their food. This food, this food looked like some cuttlefish that could poison you and kill you. Like this wasn't just playing with your food. This was Nicholls kind of kicking your ass in a lot of ways in this game, at least early on. I mean, the linebackers and their run defense, the safety fits completely ineffectual. The fact that you come out of this game with Nicholls having 38 carries for 150 yards, you have 21 carries for 64, averages 3 yards a carry. And even through the air, Nicholls finishes 16 of 22 for 145, 6 of 13 on third down.
At one
These
point,
are not
they were
fluky things.
I know they were 10 of 10 at one point. I don't know if it got to 11 of 11, but Nicholls was 10 of 10 throwing the football.
And so these are not fluky statistics, which is why you come out of it and you're so disappointed. And yes, offensively, Nuss threw for 6 touchdowns and 300 yards. But my biggest issue was, Jake, we talked about it last week. In a game like this, you have to really care about the team to give a damn. And we were going to get granular about what we were looking for. And so what did we specifically say, or at least I said, I want to see them stay committed to the run. I want to see them work out the kinks. I want to see them practice it. I want to see them find success with it. I know Kyron Lacey and the receivers and Garrett Nussmeier can have success against that. I know that. And I'm not trying to take away from a 6-touchdown performance. It's really awesome. But I knew they could do that. That's their strength. I wanted to see, could you improve on your weakness? And they literally got big dog to the point where they had to fall back on their strength just to find a way to win.
Yeah, there was one point in the game where you could tell it's like, okay, hey, we can't run the ball. So we got to lean on our receivers. And Nicholls was playing cover 1, which it shocked me. They're like, we're going to play man across the board. We're going to have one high safety, and we're going to try to keep up with you, which they couldn't. And that's why Garrett Nussmeier throws for 6 touchdowns. That's why you had all these receivers that were open, is because the offensive line, which didn't give up a sack, they were protecting the quarterbacks, what they do really well. Yeah. And then LSU's receivers were winning their one-on-one matchups like you would assume that they would. And Nicholls never really went away from it. That's kind of what they led with, and they stayed in. And so I understand taking advantage if they're going to continue to do that. But just like you said, T, you couldn't run the football. It's not like – you were having some success, but you were having more success in the pass game. You could not run the football. And it's new schemes. We've talked about it. Like, you didn't see some of these plays last year. The running backs, for the most part, like you saw Josh Williams be a little patient and kind of understand that he started to get loose a little bit. The running backs don't know how to read it, it feels like. They're not – like Caleb Jackson right now going side to side does not look comfortable at all. Like, he is a north-south runner, which that's okay. You have a skill set, that's what it is. And I understand wanting to get him going a little bit. But right now, it looks like he's grabbing the football and just searching for a hole instead of going through your progression of your footwork, your reads, allowing the defense to tell you, seeing your blocks, knowing what your blocks are in front of you, and then reading off of those. I mean, there was one time Caden Durham got the ball. Look, he's a freshman, and we were all freshmen at one time, and you try to go 1,000,000 miles per hour. You can't do that at running back. You can't do it on a counter run. He beat both pullers to the spot on a counter. Like, you have to be patient.
It takes nuts, but you got to be patient.
It does. Look, you got to slide over. You got to take your steps, and then you come back, and then, you know, it's not at 100 miles per hour.
Shoot out once you see the
As
hole.
soon as you see it, you put your foot in the ground. That's when you go 100 miles per hour. So, like, those things are surprising to me. Like, you've worked all spring, you've worked all summer on the new run game and the new schemes that you're going to run, but they just don't look like they're on the same page. And then because the tight ends were so poor in blocking a week ago, you move an offensive lineman borderline to tight end to try to just give you something. Like, so that just tells you what they don't have right now in the run game.
Where'd you go, Mac? Patrick Vine says, has the offensive line regressed? Was it all JD5? Well, again, I said it coming out of USC. It feels like an O-line that, quite frankly, just doesn't have a lot of experience in that portion, like run blocking, right? They're elite. I cannot stress this enough. They are elite pass protectors, like some of the best I've ever seen. But I said it out of USC. This reinforces it. When it comes to run blocking, they're average. But the thing is, how do you I tell this to my kids all the time. How do you get better at something? You have to be willing to be bad at it. Like, you can't just be good at something. You have to practice it to get better, which is why this game felt like such an opportunity to go out there and do just that. But you have to give credit to Guggenheim and the Colonels, because they didn't allow you to, because they whooped up on you and they forced you to have to fall back on what you are good at your strengths, and you have to end up wasting an opportunity that you could have used to improve those weaknesses. Anything else, Jake, before we get to Brian Kelly's next segment?
All right, so the patience that you saw Guggenheim run with, I thought he was incredibly patient. By the way, if you're in the state of Louisiana, you follow high school football, he was a stud at John Curtis. I called multiple state championship games of his, and I remember saying the name Guggenheim so many times, and I was like, I'll never say that again. I was wrong. When I saw him on the roster, I was like, okay, I'm going to be talking about him, because he was that good at John Curtis, and his patience was incredible. And that's what we're talking about. And they had pullers like every single running play. That's who Nicholls is. That's who they are. That's how they've won the Southland. And he was allowing those guys to get in front of him. And those pullers, they were bringing the punch to LSU's defense.
They were hitting, bruh. LSU's linebackers don't play with great hands. Whit Weeks is good at it, but a lot of LSU's defense not playing with great hands right now.
It's like they kind of reverted back to what it was a year ago, and knowing Blake Baker, watching Blake Baker on tape, no matter where he's been, that is not something that has ever been taught. That's something they got to get out of, because you can't, not certainly in the SEC, it's only going to get more difficult. You can't catch. You can't catch when you're tackling. No. You can't catch when you have a blocker in front of you. Like, you've got to be aggressive. You've got to, you've got to stone that blocker. You got to get him out of the way. And when you're tackling, like, you have to be the aggressor. Like, me as a running back, if I know that I've got linebackers that are catching, I'm licking my chops. I know that I can go right through them, and I'm going to gain 3 to 4, 5, 6 more yards every time I touch the ball, because I'm going right through you.
Yeah, exactly, and they were catching. They were catching all of Saturday night. Zach Mo says there's Scoonchy or Scoonchy fall this morning. I'm officially saying that we moved straight into a dollop, but just enjoy it, guys. Stay present. Enjoy this morning, because it is. We've lived here long enough. We know there's always the false falls, right? It's like you get a couple days and you revert, but we are heading in the right direction. Is LSU heading in the right direction? Hear what Brian Kelly had to say after the game next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
Go to Coleman Roofing and Construction. If you have any roofing needs, man, Coleman Roofing and Construction is the most reliable, most respected, the most complete roofing company in the entire state. Complete is, there's many reasons why. Is if you're listening right now and you have a giant commercial project that you need done, well, they got you, man. But even if you're like me and something happened to your home, you got a hole in the roof, you got some water damage on the interior, whatever it is, they do that as well. It's anywhere in the entire state of Louisiana, even out to the Gulf South region. So maybe you're watching on YouTube in another state. Maybe you're up in North Louisiana listening on 1150, like whatever it is. Coleman has your back. And then the construction portion means that they will actually fix the interior of your home if there's damage there, and then the roof. Coleman Roofing and Construction, ColemanRoof.com.
Yeah, go to the website, see exactly what T-Bob is talking about. I mean, they've got a huge commercial job right there on the homepage, but we tell you, I mean, they can do your residential roof. They can do whatever you need them to do. It truly is a one-stop shop. They truly can come in and fix whatever leak that you might have, and they can do the roof, they can do the interior. You can see a lawnmower walk right by us here. ColemanRoof.com.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency. The light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today.
Welcome back to Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. We out here at the U Club for the LSU Alumni Tournament. Let's get into some Brian Kelly postgame sound because this is a sound that has triggered many people, and it's not hard to see why. In fact, he even committed the cardinal sin that Jake Hester hates so much. But let's go down the list here. Let's start with Kelly 1. Just kind of an overall summation of what happened on Saturday.
Well, I'd start off with saying how impressed I was with Nicholls St. I thought they played their tails off. You could tell how much it meant to those young men to play here in Tiger Stadium and have a chance to play LSU. They were physical, and they controlled the clock. Made it a great football game from that perspective. I'm happy we won the football game, but certainly there's a lot of areas that I'm looking at the things that we have to do better. Certainly that was a team that was tired, did not play its very best. You know, we had a long week. It was a short week, and it showed. They worked their tails off this week, but they just did not have the same energy, the same snap, the same kind of physicality that they had against USC.
Jake, how do you feel about the tired angle? It's something that's obviously triggered a lot of people, and it's tough because...
Is it tired because of the day less of rest and travel?
Yeah, that's basically what he's saying, right? And again, it's tough because that is not untrue. You play the game Sunday night, you get back to Baton Rouge at 5 a.m. on Monday, you practice Tuesday. But it is Nicholls, you know? And so I guess it's a situation where Kelly is probably being honest completely about his view on the situation. But is that something that's almost better left unsaid because it comes away sounding like such a tired excuse against a team that, I mean, let's be honest, guys, you probably put 10, 20, 30 times the amount of money into football than Nicholls does. You have to feel that financial gap no matter the setting around the game.
All right, yeah, so a couple things here. You and I have played in those games. Now, I don't know that I ever played like the FCS in state school. I know we played Louisiana Tech, we played Tulane, we played Louisiana Lafayette. So we played those schools. I don't think that I ever played the FCS version.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Not off the top of my head. I know we played Northwestern State one time.
You did?
Yeah.
You know, those games you are going to get like their very best. You're what?
Nothing, doesn't matter.
You're a captain? Mm-hmm. Shout out. You're going to get their very best. We know that, and they play hard, and every player that's from Louisiana wanted to play at LSU. Like, yeah, sure. We know all that. The tired angle, though,
I'm tired of these sorry-ass excuses. I mean, that's what I'm tired of.
It is difficult, and not having an off day. But, I mean, this isn't me trying to be funny. Like, they just added all the new recovery stuff over at the training facility, sleep pods and new stuff. I don't even know, like, what it is. It's
go
really
hop,
nice.
go hop in whatever that Minority Report looking ass machine was that I saw where your body just, like, floats down into it.
Yeah, it's like a sleep pod, right? Like a float tank or something?
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know. Bobby talks about them all the time with Ohio State. I don't really know. But, look, you schedule that game on Sunday. Win, lose, or draw. You can't draw anymore. You knew you were going to get home late. Like, so, you know, you got to have a plan in place, which I'm sure they did. But, no, it's something you have to handle. It's just like in the NFL when you have a Thursday night game. It's not fun. And then next week you feel it still, but it is what it is. Or you have a Monday night football game. And then you go into Sunday. Like, that's a day that you don't have that the other team probably did have to prepare, and they probably had to walk through it most, and you have a game. You typically get Tuesdays off. You don't get Tuesdays off when that happens. And so it's part of the schedule that you have to handle.
All right, quick, while the machine's coming by, why is the run game struggling, Brian Kelly?
I got to look at the film more closely, you know, to really evaluate, you know, the run game more effectively. You know, obviously they gave us an opportunity with a lot of man coverage opportunities to throw the football. So it's so hard to kind of, you know, come in here and say, well, you know, we should have done this, we should have done that in the running game. We want a running game that balances our offense, but I know there were a lot of plays that we checked out of at the line of scrimmage because of the, you know, the extra hat, so to speak, which is part of our offense.
So that's a bit interesting, and that's a tough point to actually take too much criticism with, because if they're going to add an extra man to the box and the offense's rules are such that when they do, you check this because you trust your guys in man-to-man, well, okay, you're making the right checks. Is it too crazy to say that I would almost want them again, though, to go kind of outside of themselves and challenge themselves to run the ball anyway? I mean, is that just that too much?
We can't have it both ways here. And what I mean by that is last Sunday in Vegas, it felt like there was a point where they tried to force running the football. Like,
yes,
staying committed to it and all that, but like, they came out, I think it was
they were giving you light boxes.
In the third quarter, they're like, we're going to run the football. We're going to establish the run. And it's like, okay, well, it's not there. You were having success through the air, and it felt like there was 2 drives against USC where you almost wasted the drives because you were like, here's what we're going to do here in these 2 drives.
Okay, so never mind. Yeah.
Like, at least that's the feel that it had just being there and doing the call. I felt like, hey, we're going to run the football, be damned, whatever. Let's run the football. And then you get to this game, and it's like, oh, well, you got to commit to the run. You got to commit to the run. It's like, well, 1, it has not worked yet. And 2, like he's saying, they're playing cover 1 and daring us to throw the football. So I'm not concerned with them not doing more of it. I'm concerned with when they did it, it wasn't good.
That's a good point.
Like, that's my concern. Like, sure, commit to the run. You're going to lean on Nicholls. Eventually, you're probably going to have some success. But you ran enough. There's enough of a sample size for me to grade off of it, and it was a very poor grade.
Yeah, Chris says that's just you being a Les Miles player. That's true. You're like that stupid, goofy meme. Like, 8 in the box, we'll do it. Put 9. We'll do it again. I don't care. We're running power, bruh. All right, when we get back, more Kelly Sound. Keep it locked.
Off the bench.
Off the Bench, brought to you every single day by our friends over there at Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Get Gordon, get it done. 225-888-8888 is the number, guys. Gordon's going to stand up for you against the big insurance companies, get you what you deserve. When you get into an accident, that sucks. That's a low moment. You know, it's but again, you can make it better. Your friends at Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Go to getgordon.com, see all the cases they handle. Follow them on social media at GetGordon for great content with your favorite athletes, as well as just like a lot of great just general life advice. That's Get Gordon. Get Gordon. Get it done today.
Go to the website, getgordon.com, where you can do it all. You can see past client results, cases they can handle for you. You can get a consultation set up. You can ask a question right there on the site. Anything you need to get done, you can do it at getgordon.com. But we always encourage you throughout the state of Louisiana, no matter where you're at, pull your area code, followed by 888-8888. Get Gordon and get it done.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast office products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving.
Welcome back to Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. All right, let's get back to some of this BK sound. Here is Brian Kelly on why you were struggling to stop the run against Nicholls.
The one that, we were disappointed with was the one that we didn't, execute, was the long run by the quarterback. What did they have, 150 yards? And on that one run, the quarterback ran for 67 yards. So, 38 carries for 96 yards, less than 4 yards a rush. They came in to run the ball. The two things that bothered me was the long drive right before the half, not getting off the field there, and then the long quarterback run. After that, we kind of, settled in, pretty good.
Jake, so it wasn't that bad, dude. You take out the 6-7 yarder, and that's a little under 3 yards carry right there, Bob.
Yeah, y'all know this is a pet peeve of mine. The thing is, you can't take that out. It's part of the game. It happened, and the running back's not supposed to fall down at 17 yards, right? If you have 67 yards, you run 67 yards. And it is because you continue to lean on the LSU defense. You wear them out. You make them be gap sound, which they weren't on that play, and it's a 67-yarder. It absolutely ends up on the total, just like if you hit a 75-yard pass. You can't take Rashid Shaheed's touchdown away from Derek Carr's stat line. That's not what it is. That is a play in the game, and it is part of it. It's part of some of the issue that you're having and the gap integrity. Now, they did a much better job, and we talked about it on the broadcast, of, fixing that issue, and the gap integrity in the second half was much better, but it was not on that play in the second half. And so you can bet, because South Carolina, no matter who the coordinator is, no matter what, they are going to have a guy that can run Wildcat. They always have. It just feels like they always – Luke Doty will have a package of Wildcat plays, because Guggenheim lined up a quarterback on that play. And they didn't leave the quarterback in, right, the starting quarterback, McQuaid. They didn't leave him in. He left the field. They brought an extra blocker in. And so you really had you had multiple extra blockers if you were Nicholls. Luke Doty, who played quarterback at South Carolina and is now kind of a jack of all trades, will be in that role on Saturday in Columbia, and they are going to try time and time again to run it.
Their quarterback's a wildcat quarterback. They got Robbie Ashford if they want to. Did Sellers end up coming back in the game Saturday after he left?
I think he did. I know Robbie Ashford came in.
Sellers went out with an injury.
I forget who I was talking to. I was like, y'all remember him? It was not good when LSU played against him at Auburn.
No, Robbie Ashford kind of cooked you when you played against him in Auburn. Even through the air.
So they can. Robbie Ashford's going to have a plan for sure. But I'm saying if they want to have a running back type Guggenheim was, Luke Doty played quarterback his freshman, maybe even sophomore year at South Carolina. Now he's playing tight end. He was at SEC Media Days. He's a guy that they trust, and you wouldn't even have to bring in Robbie Ashford. Now you could, but yeah, they got multiple guys that can give you trouble with some Q runs.
I would say this, since this has been such a kind of negative couple segments with LSU here, and rightfully so, if I want to talk about something that I enjoyed Saturday, when you are a player in the fight, you don't really care about the context like we do. Like, not as much. Now, certainly, you want to play well against a lesser team. You kind of get pissed off. But when you're, like, that's kind of after the game. When you're in the fight and you make a big play, that's a great feeling. And I loved seeing Trey'Dez Green get his first touchdown in Tiger Stadium. And I especially loved Juwan Johnson switching over from defensive back 2 days ago, the freshman, getting in there and finding his way to the end zone. Like, what a moment for those two young cats. Here is Brian Kelly. This Kelly 8 Alonzo. This is Brian Kelly on Garrett Nussmeier.
He's a really effective and efficient thrower of the football. And we saw tonight that, when he gets the opportunity, he can run the football for us. He had a couple of opportunities when they were in drop eights, and, he used his legs. He's very athletic. He can certainly do that. Garrett Nussmeier is nowhere near any of the issues that we have. I mean, we got to run the football, and he's not the running back. He's not the offensive line. And, again, I think that's, if there's any things that we need to kind of, settle is we got to really look closely at what we're doing in the run game, and the players are good enough. We got to coach better, and that is on me.
Moose, we're getting some sort of high-pitched feedback. I'm not entirely sure. Throw some headphones on, see if you hear it. I definitely hear it. Do you hear it, Jake?
Yeah, a little bit.
Chad says they hear it. It seems like it's mainly coming from my mic, but even when we play, they're getting loud right there. Wait, okay, it stopped. Move that wherever you just move that. That's where it was coming from. Look at us, guys. I mean,
are you an engineer? I feel like you are.
I mean, geez, dude. I am a general studies major, so I'm kind of like an engineer in a lot of ways. No. Move that thing. Just put that headset on the ground.
Turn it down, too, maybe.
Yeah, turn that headset down and move it away from wherever it is right now. Then don't turn the mic down, but move it away then. Just move it away from, get it away from over there. Yeah, it's good right now. No, move it on the ground. Put it on the ground that way. On the ground that way.
Are we watching Forgetting Sarah Marshall and your Paul Rudd?
You got to do more. Do less. Do more. Less. You got to do something, though. No, see, now there it goes again. You hear that? What is this? I'm trying to – wait.
Nope.
Wait. Hold on. Is it me?
No, I still hear it.
I know. Is if I'm leaning over here? Am I going crazy?
No, I don't know.
Do I have tinnitus?
I don't know.
Do I have tinnitus because I'm so enraged with the fact that we talked all offseason about an 8-4 football team, potentially 7-5?
7-5. Oh man.
Maybe not. We haven't even talked about Guillory being out though.
Well, we're trying to avoid the
sadness. They're like a friggin' LSU's about as cooked as a twice-baked potato that somebody decided to fry afterwards, bruh. It ain't good, man. All right, coming up, when we get back, Taylor, stop talking. Yeah, that's what the noise was. Okay, when we get back, we're going to re-celebrate the Saints. Look at that. More LSU. A whole weekend of college football and NFL to get to. Keep it locked.
Off the bench.
Go to, oops, I got my sound sheet pulled up, guys, but I would never forget to remind you to go to K to Z Window Coverings, KTOZBlinds.com, KTOZBlinds.com. They are your window covering experts, guys. And you're like, well, expert, what do you mean? Have them out to your home and watch them break down how the light interacts with your home and everything that they can offer you from both a functional and aesthetic standpoint. You bring your home to the next level. That's K2Z Window Coverage, KTOZBlinds.com.
Yeah, I mean, just take full advantage of what they can do for you because they're going to know exactly what you need. Look, I have the outdoor screen. My dad was in town yesterday, and Brandon and the team drove up to Shreveport, installed the outdoor screen in his home as well, and he talked about 3 o'clock, you drop that thing, it completely changes the dynamic of his home. It can do it for you as well. I'm telling you, it is a game changer. K2ZBlinds.com.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps are held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. here on Monday, September 9th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect partly cloudy skies with a high of 91 in hour 2 of today's show. We'll continue our discussion with LSU and the New Orleans Saints, and we'll look at the NFL and college football as a whole. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the University Club, starts now.
Let's go, baby, let's go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Hey, they said I gotta come off the bench.
Now, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Uh-oh! Don't let Derek Carr get his swagger back! Bruh, did you see him? Yeah, bro, that's a quarterback who went 12-4 one year. So, yes, if you go 12-4, you once had swagger. And he definitely got that swagger back yesterday, dog. Did you see him talking to the sideline?
Do you see him flex?
After the run?
Yeah, and then, J.C. Horn was, talking with him. He's like, what? It's fourth, I got the first down. It's fourth down. I'm flexible. He's trying to talk through
Also, remember, Derek Carr is actually kind of sneaky Jack for a QB. Just, physically looking. But also, everybody loved Spencer Rattler putting his body on the line in the preseason, remember?
Yeah.
When he fought, and they're like, oh, QB1. Well, okay, man. Now, granted, I'm kind of with Stank. Was it maybe a first or second down early on where he had an 8-yard scramble, and instead of sliding, he tried to run him over? I'm like, okay, now. Come on now, we don't need any needless hits here. But if it's to fight for a first down or a close game, hell yeah, you know that dude's gonna put his body on the line. That is one thing that they talked about on the broadcast a lot yesterday that we probably underappreciated a bit, is that he was pretty banged up for a lot of the early portion of that season last year. And credit to him for being tough and playing through it. But if he continues, because then what? You can argue he got healthier as the year went on. He finished strong last year. If he continues to look pretty good here early on, then maybe we start to think that, those injuries were affecting him a bit more than we gave credit for. And as a player, in my experience, there is no more annoying feeling. By the way, great job by Moose here on site getting the tinnitus out. But there is no more annoying feeling than when you're playing hurt, but it's just impossible for people to care. And I'm not saying you should care necessarily. Like, I like to acknowledge it, but I'm not saying it's just going to make you happy if the guy's doing bad or whatever. But, like, I remember games out there where, I'm like 2 weeks off a torn MCL, trying to block Florida, and I'm basically playing one-legged. I'm getting, like, tossed around. I hadn't practiced all week, and it's just a bad feeling, but you're trying to do everything you can for the team. So I'm not saying that is the case with Carr quite yet, unless this strong run of play continues. Then maybe we say, okay, now maybe that's a little bit of an explanatory factor, even though I guess after Sunday it mainly feels like just Pete Carmichael versus Clint Kubiak because of how this Saints offense looked as a whole.
Yeah, if you're Derek Carr, you have to know, like, what you did on Sunday. Your efficiency level was incredibly high, and that's all that the Saints need you to do.
Yes, that's the thing. We don't need him to be a high-volume guy.
No.
Like, I watched Josh Allen yesterday have to put the entire Buffalo Bills just on his back. That's never going to be Derek Carr. That's the great strength of Kubiak in theory, is like San Fran, where it doesn't have to be all Brock Purdy. You get a running game that's going to be complimentary. You get Alvin Kamara going again. You spread the ball around to Taysom Hill, Rashid Shaheed, Chris Olave. So, yeah, I don't care if it's 200 yards to the air. But
even that, like in NFL standards today, that's not a ton. But what I'm saying is that's okay.
Yeah, me too.
Like, if you're 19 of 23 for 200 yards and 3 tuds, no turnovers, that's going to, with everything else the Saints have, certainly on the defensive side, that's going to win you 85% of your games. So that's the thing. All you have to be is who you were on Sunday. Be highly efficient. Do you have to go make plays to win? Sure. But like T-Bob's saying, you don't have to be Josh Allen and put the team on your back against the Cardinals like he did yesterday. You don't have to be that. You have other people that can help you be that guy. And so if he plays within that same mindset and says, I had a damn good day. Was it 400 yards and 5 touchdowns? No, but it was 203 scores. I took care of the football. I spread the football out. I had everybody involved in the game plan. With everything else that you have on this team, that wins you the division.
Yeah, and I mean, you think about it. This is a team that won 9 games last year. 9 games. And so if the offense can improve, then – and it's not like they got worse during the offseason. I mean, I'm trying to think. Who would you have lost? I guess your O-line, maybe like losing Pete, even though they looked fine week 1. Maybe like losing Pete's like, like you could maybe argue in the – but I don't know if you can say you got worse in trenches because I really loved what I saw to Taliesin Fuanga in week 1. Like, I think you got a legit – left tackle, and for all you anime fans out there, he's apparently an anime fan as well. Him and Jamal Williams touch. Everybody's talking about the Alvin Kamara handshakes, which were great, but the Jamal Williams Fuanga handshake, if we were back in studio, I'd have Taylor play it, was absolutely fantastic as well. I mean, did you get worse in the offseason? Because you added Chase Young, who looked fan-freaking-tastic, building off of all of the preseason hype.
Kool-Aid McKinstry had a couple of nice little
The secondary is a year older and a year stronger.
Yeah.
Again, guys on offense that looked bad last year looked way better, like Alvin Kamara, when put in better positions to succeed. It's Derek Carr with another year in New Orleans, getting to know the team. Again, you won 9 games.
You got rid of Marcus May, which is a positive. That's going to help you because he stole money for a couple of years. You didn't add a ton, but you didn't lose anything either.
I mean, adding Chase Young,
and then obviously through the draft, what you added.
Yeah, that probably puts you into getting slightly better. And not say that this is a game that this is kind of full of logical pitfalls. This is not a one-to-one thing, but you won 9 games last year. Your Foster Moreau dropped touchdown, and that Green Bay debacle.
Shout out to Foster, though.
Win
Shout
at
out to
10.
Foster.
Yeah, which again, look, man, again, that's what I'm talking about. Spread. Like, he too did not have the impact that we thought he would last year, especially not with how we had seen Carr and Foster play in Vegas. But what happens when you put your players in better positions to succeed? And you make the defense cover the entire field, and you make them respect the pre-snap motion. And I really love that first touchdown for him and Carr, because that was a touchdown that speaks to the connection that they fostered through the years.
Yeah,
When
because
Carr extends the
Foster
play,
bailed him out.
yeah.
You know.
Well, I mean, and Carr's extending the play. Foster sees space, runs to it, shoots his hand up. Carr's like, that's my guy. He throws it, and Foster jumps up and just mosses the defender to am I crazy? That wasn't his first touchdown in the Dome, was it? Did he get one last year? No, right? So that was? Yeah, I knew he dropped the one. I didn't know if he had caught one that I missed. Yeah, so and he gets his first touchdown in the Superdome. Way too long in coming, but, glad to finally be here. And Daniel Blunt says, here's the deal, you're finally using Taysom. Yeah, what did you think about Taysom, man? Because he very much felt like the use chick do it all. Let's just take advantage of this freakish skill set that we were kind of hoping that he would be when you got Clint Kubiak.
Yeah, and then later in the game, they went away from it because they could. They didn't have to. And I know a lot of people are like, where's Taysom at? He's disappeared. Yeah, he's supposed to when you're up 47-10. Like, he's supposed to disappear. Adam Prentice, you got it. Go get him. He's a cheat code, and so many times, like, we'd see a glimpse of it, but we wouldn't see it in its totality of what it should have been. And it would go away for times, and you're wondering, where is it at? And then, like, for Taysom, like, as a player, I credit him because, like, he probably showed up on Mondays like, all right, what's it this week? Like, who am I going to be this week? Like, he probably didn't know who he was, and they were trying so many different things. And it's okay to try a lot of different things if you're preparing him to do so, but it always felt like it was, like, put together that week, and it didn't really have the plan that it deserved. And so now you have a plan. Now it's like, hey, here's who you're going to be within this offense. And there's nobody else like him in the NFL. It's why he gets paid what he does. I mean, he can do so many different things. He saves you roster spots at tight end, at fullback, at quarterback, at running back. I mean, there's so many different things that he can do for you. And when you're a defensive coordinator, he terrifies you because you even have to get ready for the unknown. Things that probably aren't even in, but you have to get ready for them.
Yeah.
Double pass when Taysom's in there. He might not throw a pass. Now, he probably will, but if he doesn't, it doesn't matter because coordinators have to prepare for it, and they will prepare for it. I guarantee you every team that plays the Saints this year will have a period on probably Wednesday that it is a Taysom Hill period.
Really?
I guarantee you. It might not, look, it's only going to be about 10 minutes. But for 10 minutes, they are, hey, this is our Taysom Hill walkthrough. This is our Taysom Hill period, whatever it might be. I guarantee you every team that plays them has something like that.
I mean, you put him at quarterback, and you can run power 9 times in a row. And then on the 10th, you can throw it, right? Like the ability to, like Jake said, to always have that very legitimate threat hanging out in the back of the defense's minds is just another angle for Clint Kubiak to toy with and to try to exploit the opponent.
And we're also talking about a guy that not just, this guy played quarterback in high school or this guy played a little bit of quarterback in college. No, he has started and won games at the position in the NFL. So to T's point, he can make any throw on the route tree. It's not just, hey, he can kind of throw it a little bit, so let's throw a go ball. That's what defensive coordinators are terrified of. Everything's available. Man, they ran Q power 7 times in a row. On that 8th one, they run a big 27-yard crossing route that Taysom can drop in a bucket.
There you go.
And that's what keeps defensive coordinators up at night. So it was so good to see him using a role that fits him and actually makes sense, and it can only expand from here.
I want to see a Tebow jump pass on the goal line. A little one-step pop-up, boop, jump over the top. Juwan Johnson touchdown was really nice, by the way.
Do you think that Taysom would also think that if his feet hit the ground, it was traveling like Tebow used to?
I mean, but I don't even fault Tebow for that, dude. That feels like traveling. You're not allowed to come. I think it actually should be a penalty if you jump up.
He thought it was. I am fully
convinced
convinced that when Tim first started doing it in 06, he thought it was a penalty if his feet came down.
You ever play tips? We used to play tips all the time when we were younger, man. That's just like built into you on a natural athletic level. It's muscle memory at that point. Guys. Go ahead, Jake.
Okay, I do want to set something up about the Saints, and I want to ask you if this makes you worry. And I saw somebody pointed out in the chat, and I had it screenshotted here on my phone. The Saints are 6-0 in their last 6 season openers. You beat Houston, Tampa Bay, the 38-3 Green Bay game, which felt like yesterday's game, 27-26 over the Falcons, last year against the Titans, this year against the Panthers. 6-0 in their last 6.
No, so
does that terrify you at all that they've had really good season openers and it hasn't resulted in playoff victories?
No, because me and Moose were talking about this. I said this feels exactly like that Packers game did. When Jameis Winston went down that year, you were 7-2. Like, you were a good team that year. Now, granted, the offense was not what it looked like in week 1, right? It was not nearly as good, but that team still ended up being very good. You were 7-2. Again, last year's team, you finished 9-8, tied for the division lead with some massively blown opportunities. Some analytically, some of the worst offensive coordinating in the entire NFL.
Yep.
So, no, I'm not. And, that's an angle. I understand it. I understand the angle there. But again, guys, the older you get, I feel the more that you start to really engage with this perspective. We only have so many football seasons on this earth that we get to enjoy. And are we going to live our life in fear? Are we going to live our life in fear of the other shoe dropping? Are we going to ignore the times when you should feel happy and you should feel good for fear of failure? Because that's cowardly. That's as cowardly as Michigan kicking a field goal down 24-3 or 31-3, whatever it was at the time. Get the hell out of here, okay? No, I want to live my life with my chest out. I want to live in the moment. I want to be present. Will it look worse against Dallas? Absolutely.
Yeah, it's flawless almost.
Dallas is the winningest team in the regular season in the NFL over the last 3 years. They have the highest paid
in the playoffs, Taylor.
They have the highest paid quarterback in NFL history. He must be awesome.
Yeah, he has to be.
Beyond reproach.
Golly. Can't wait to see that jersey in the studio worn by Taylor, his biggest fan.
So, no, of course, they'll probably lose next week, if I'm being completely honest. I think the Cowboys are a better overall team. But F it. I don't care. I'm not going to let that take away from what I saw yesterday, which was, again, yes, you're going against a bad team, but it's the NFL. But also, you were the offense went 9 of 9, guys. Show me the other season opener where the offense went 9 of 9. What are we talking about? Blake Groupie, who we ripped on last year. Credit Allen and Rizzi and company for keeping him around. He goes 4-4 with a 57, multiple 50-yarders on the day. I mean, all 3 phases of the game show up to play. And what's the what side of the ball is Dennis Allen the architect of? The defense. And they look as spectacular as ever. Last year, they go, 2 years ago, they're 9th in score defense. Last year, they're 6th. And this year, they add Chase Young. And everybody's older. And Demario Davis continues to be an immortal, as does Tyrann Mathieu. No, you're not going to catch me wanting to quake and take away from what was something that was so needed yesterday for the Louisiana morale, for the morale of football fans here in the boot. Also, shout out ULM.
Yeah.
Business against UAB. Put it on that ass.
Yeah, you don't want none of the Warhawks.
Shout out Warhawks.
With the general leading them out there. I love that you have Dallas in this next game. I really, really do, because – it's a kind of a rival situation. It's always fun when these two teams get together. But I say I love it because what you did was almost perfect football, and it never happens in the National Football League. That very rarely happens. Do you see a game that gets out of hand like that? Okay, and now you get a chance against a really good team. Regardless of what we think about Dallas, they're a really good team. They're going to be in the postseason. They've got some of the best players in the NFL. What an opportunity for you as the Saints to go out there and go against that team to show where you're at right now.
That's a good call, actually.
I really do love the spot that they're in. Confidence. There's probably not a more confident team right now. Again, I might have been on 2 of these where it's just you felt like you played flawlessly and everything went your way. And that next week, the confidence that you get, like think about the individual matchups in this game that now with the confidence you have are going to be much better for you. Like before, I'm sure Trevor Penning stayed up at night thinking about Micah Parsons. Is Parsons going to get the best of him sometimes? Absolutely. But Trevor Penning needed some confidence.
Yeah.
He needed to have a game like he had. That's just one kind of individual matchup. And then, like, for the Cowboys offensively, they're probably seeing the Saints defense. They're probably, oh, man, gosh, hey, we better make sure we know where Alante Taylor lines up from.
Yeah,
like
3
so,
sacks
like,
for Taylor
yeah,
in one game.
I mean,
That's
so,
insane.
like, there's things both ways, and it is a great opportunity to see exactly where this Saints team is because, look, Dallas was the underdog going into Cleveland, and they took care of business. And so it's a great test for you to see where you're at.
Deshaun Watson is literally easily not even close to the worst contract in NFL history.
And you tried to sign that same contract. Luckily, it fell through.
Thank God. Sometimes you got to be protective from yourself. Oh, God, let's go to commercial. Hurry.
Here comes the weed eater.
The weed eater.
Off the bench.
Guys, go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge is the website for your next vehicle. You can custom order with All-Star Toyota Express, where you can go to All-Star, guys.
Yeah.
Look, if you need a body shop or a service center, all makes and models are welcome. Yeah. They're incredible. And all, like I said, all make free professional estimates, factory parts right there.
Like, if you want to have a Tundra or Tacoma to put your weed eater in the back of, it's the best place to go. Best place to go. They've got you covered. Multiple options. You could probably fit that weed eater in the back of a Sienna and a Sequoia as well.
Yeah, I will say this. The Edge looks great, though, bro.
Yeah, well, he's been working on it for a while. It should. All right, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has back-to-school savings like $16,000 off 25 Ram 1500 trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $16,000 off. All new Bayou vehicles come with a complimentary extended warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that
Welcome back to Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, what up, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. T-Bob Jake hanging out with you here on site. We are out here at the LSU Alumni Annual Golf Classic, benefiting the LSU Alumni Association. Ton of great sponsors, including Coca-Cola, Mockler Beverage, Boot Up Customs, the Triad Neutron Group. Any relation to Jimmy? Bayou Apparel, and tons more. Shout out Moose, doing a great job producing here on site. Shout out Alondra and Taylor, doing a great job producing back home. So, in anything in life, luck is going to play a role. One of the Cannon's favorite sayings, along with one snap and clear growing up, something that I've heard probably 10,000 times was, hey, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. And sometimes it sucks to be unlucky and bad. You know, and unfortunately for this LSU football team, coming into the season, a couple of groups in which you were kind of questionable at. Obviously, the main one was interior defensive line, and one of the other ones was running back, certainly. And here you sit through 2 weeks, and you have lost unquestionably your most talented player at both of those positions. In the third quarter of that USC game, John Emery looked like the best player on the field. Jacoby Guillory was so far and above your best defensive lineman from his size, talent, and especially experience standpoint. And now, in the second piece of heartbreaking news in 1 week, remember, Emery, non-contact, heartbreaking ACL tear in practice, and then against Nicholls State. A game that, even though, look, it's fun to watch Guggenheim, they played awesome, they put up a fight. These games, as the fiscal gap continues to grow, these games feel more and more insane in a lot of ways. And now you lose by far your best interior defensive lineman. And it's not against South Carolina with game day. It's not against Florida. It's not against Alabama. It's against Nicholls, the second week of the season. So sometimes it may be better than lucky. It's better to be lucky than good. But what happens when you're maybe not that good and then you get unlucky? Unfortunately, we about to find out.
Yeah, we are, and it's devastating. And not just for what it does for LSU moving forward, but let's take a kind of look back, and you mentioned it there, like John Emery, devastating. What he did to get back on the field, what he's gone through, doing all the right things to get back to this point. You lose him off a non-contact injury in practice, crushed. Jacoby Guillory, kind of same situation, right? Has never really been the man. Has been a piece of it. Has played his part.
Yeah.
Highly rated guy coming out of high school. He's played here or there. This was his moment. This was his time to be the dude on the defensive front. And when we did like the station survey, I saw Matt put this out there yesterday kind of as a reminder. Moscona and I both thought he was the player of the entire team, right, outside of Garrett Nussmeier, that you could not afford to lose. We both answered Jacoby Guillory because of what he meant to you, what he was ready to do, where you were at in that position, and you lose him, like T said, in the second week of the season after 6 snaps against Nicholls. And
to an Achilles, which for him personally is just unreal.
That's a brutal one to come back. That's where, I mean, like ACL now, like you don't want it, but they can get you back pretty quick now from an ACL. Like this one, I think is almost the most devastating one that you can have. And, whoa, I don't know where you go from here, T. I mean, I said it on the broadcast, like it was a fire drill of defensive tackles after that. I mean, you were just rolling any able body out there. I mean, some that weren't even like on the depth chart that we had up in the radio booth. Now, you knew who they were because you cover LSU every single day, but like if that would have been a game at South Carolina, I guarantee you their broadcast would have come over to our booth and be like, hey, who is that?
Yeah.
Give us a breakdown. How do you pronounce that name? What is that again?
What were the grades? I see you have it pulled up there. What were the grades here?
All right, so if we're just looking straight at defensive tackle, Jacobin Guillory was the highest graded that you had.
Yeah, of course.
So, yeah, that's fun. Ahmad Bro actually did play pretty well. He only played 16 snaps. He's the second highest graded defensive tackle outside of Guillory, 65.6. I thought on the first look he played better than that, so I'll have to go back and dive into the tape. Gio Piaz, 62.1.
How did McAneola do?
I always think of him as an offensive lineman still. 61.7. Sean Washington, 59.1. Suggs was a 57.9. Jalen Lee, your lowest graded defender on the night, 47.2. And he played 18 snaps at the defensive tackle position. Like I said, I mean, you were just running guys in and out of there. Like Jalen Lee, local guy, signed with Florida. This is a sample size that we've kind of seen now. He's not going to be able to help you in an SEC game, T. He's just not at that point. And you're starting to wonder, okay, like, do you start to just go smaller? And that seems troublesome considering how you've been in the run game, because I was like, well, could you move Gabe Relaford, who had a really nice day at edge, like 75.7. I mean, he played really, really well. But can you really afford to move Gabe Relaford, who is an edge size inside at all, and get anything from him? Maybe. It's not ideal. Parrish Shan's probably more the candidate. He's got more of a defensive tackle body type. You can't go into South Carolina without moving one of your edge defenders to defensive tackle, T.
Nobody knows the troubles I've seen. Nobody.
Let me give you a positive for the LSU defense.
My sorrows. PJ Woodley?
Zay Alexander, yeah. And Gordy did a great job of mentioning it on the broadcast, like when he went in, like, hey, he's dealt with his knee issue. They're going to roll him out there. They need him so badly, just for his veteran presence, how many games he's played in. Last year the defense changed when he went out, and so when Gordy pointed out, I'm like, all right, I'm going to make a point of emphasis to kind of hone in on him. He finishes your highest graded defender, but not even just looking at the grades, just actually watching it as it happened. He might be a step slower than he was because of the knee injury, but his technique is by far the best back there because, again, he's played the most games, and he's not going to be, he's not going to be in a moment where it's too big for him, and he solidified a lot of things for you in the back end, but still, like, that's one issue that you get fixed. The defensive tackle issue, I don't know where you go from here.
Well, and Jake, it's an issue that's exacerbated by linebacker play that's not that good. Whit Weeks is good.
And Whit, look, I don't know. I'm not there. I'm not inside the meeting room. I don't know. But I do know that if you don't have defensive tackles in front of you, you have to play with your hands.
Yeah.
Whit Weeks is the linebacker of this group that plays with his hands and gets off of a block. He also has the best closing speed, I think, because is Perkins faster than him? Absolutely. But when Whit reads it, it's immediately into pursuit. And you saw it like 4 or 5 times on film where he got the guy on the ground because as soon as he recognized what it was, the instincts of it, it's what we always talk about. Like I'm a 4'5", 4'6" guy all day long. But if you have a 4'4" running back that doesn't understand how to read a defense, my 4'6" is going to be faster than his 4'4".
Yeah, it's the same thing. Running back and linebackers are analogs for one another.
So if you struggle at that position, I would have a hard time getting 40 off the field. Maybe he has MAs that we don't know about within the defense. Maybe that's why. 40 would be on the field for me every single snap with this defense because what you don't do well is what he does well because he's going to have linemen probably in his lap, and he strikes them better than any other linebacker. So I would like to see 40, Whit Weeks, stay in the middle of that defense because of that.
Yeah, The Harold Perkins inside linebacker thing continues to be a bit of a disaster. Maybe it's trying to come to it in the offseason, but there's just not enough aggression, no extension, no pop. Honestly, that nickel backer role that he played last year is his best position on the football field. Working him in at edge, but have him as that nickel defender. He's good in coverage. He can still get TFLs out there.
Would you move him to star?
Yeah, I mean that's the real thing, right? Star. That's basically what that position has become. He feels like he would be a perfect star.
Because he's athletic enough to do it.
Absolutely.
I mean, we saw him last year. He was great in coverage. And we can't just look at what it was. His freshman year was so awesome. I get that. He won the Arkansas game by himself.
Also, though, again, I keep going back to this.
But he can't do that every day.
Also, look at the quality of quarterbacks in which he had his best games. I mean, except for the Bryce Young QB spying game was one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
But, Arkansas didn't have a quarterback that day. They had a third stringer that couldn't read a defense to save his life and was holding on to it for 10 minutes. Robbie Ashford, that Auburn game when he had a great game as well. It's and he had Ojulari lined up on the other side across from him.
That's also fair. Who was a second-round pick and had a good – he had 4 sacks. We looked it up, I think, when we were talking about in the offseason. He's a really good player. BJ was. So can he do some of that? Yeah, but, again, he can't line up there every down. It's not feasible.
Just say Perkins is not good. Again,
I think he's
not
good in the role.
Linebacker.
Yes, he's good in a role that you can use his skill set, which is a unique skill set, and I think it's actually at the star position. And then if you move him to star, then it gives you another safety in Major Burns where you can kind of keep a rotation there. So it gives you another body at the safety position as well.
Darius Woodard Perk played star in the second half. Do you know how good he was? I'll watch the film tonight, and we'll give you our more analytical breakdown tomorrow morning as we give you the biggest highlights.
I things that we know about Blake Baker. If he thinks it's best for the defense, he's gonna put him at star. I don't think they're gonna try to force the issue. I think you'll see, more of Whit Weeks this week because that is who Blake is. Blake's going to see what gives us the best opportunity. That's why I think you're going to see an edge defender move to defensive tackle. Do we continue to roll out a guy that can't get it done against Nicholls in the SEC? No, we got to make changes. We have if you're an LSU coach, we have to make changes. Has to be so. You're going today. Probably started the process yesterday, and you've got every edge defender. All right, which one can we afford to move inside and also not lose the integrity of what we have at the edge? I think Gabe Relaford stepping up like he did in the game, freshman, threw one great shout-out. He gives you the ability to maybe move Parashan inside because now you can have Swinson, Relaford, and you can have Jones be your edge guys, and then Parashan gives you an extra body in the middle. Is he a little bit lighter than you like? Yeah, but you don't have the luxury of that being something you can care about right now. It's just got to happen.
It's so crazy how personnel flawed this defense is. And honestly, I know you got priced out of some of those D tackles, and that's not the issue here to me. But not getting DBs, not improving. When you see so many other teams that got so much better taking advantage of the portal, just running it back with this defensive personnel is a massive failure of roster management. So one cool thing is the Queen of Baton Rouge, guys. You're home for football this fall. You want to come hang out with us? We're going to watch some of these Saints, these now NFC South winning, potentially Super Bowl winning New Orleans Saints teams. We're going to watch 3 primetime games there this year.
Yeah.
We'll get you all the dates. But we had so much fun there to kick off the NFL season last Thursday. Again, gambling on your phone is tight and everything, but going into the DraftKings Sportsbook,
awesome.
cash in, cash out, food, drinks, great screens, great setup. If you have not been to the fully renovated Queen, you do not know what you are missing. So it's very conveniently located right there downtown. Go check out the Sportsbook today, and then you can play all the games that you want to play too, right? The 1717 restaurant, Shaq's Big Chicken. It's all there. Go to the Queen of Baton Rouge, your home for football this fall. All right, more OTB when we get back.
Off the bench.
Go to centralplumbing.org, 925-8552. 925-8552, centralplumbing.org. You probably feel like you've watched that was just going to be stupid. Just go to Central Plumbing, guys. 50 years.
Wait. I think I want to hear
There's going to be something about, like, you seem like you watch a load of crap on Saturday this fall. Maybe your toilet's fogged.
Right.
Maybe the pipes burst.
Okay.
Whatever the issue is, go to Central Plumbing, okay? Because even they can solve your fecal issues.
And if it is a Saturday, if it is game day,
that's true.
24/7 does include those days and those events that we're talking about.
Yep, by weekend holiday,
So,
we got you, man.
I think you're right on track, actually.
Got a massive fleet, flat rate pricing, great warranty once the work is done.
Yeah.
But it's not just repairs. Again, if you need bathroom remodel, tankless water heater, there's only one answer, guys, and it's Central Plumbing. And they've been with OTB forever. Those are freaking boys, dude.
They are.
Shout out the Payne family, centralplumbing.org.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
The best kept secret in town.
Welcome back to Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
I think we're back. Welcome back, OTB. T-Rap Jake hanging out here at U Club. LSU Alumni Golf Tournament about to go down. I don't know if you could ask for a better morning weather for golf. My God. I wish I did not have work to do. Actually, that's not entirely true. I'm very excited to do snaps today because y'all keep subscribing, and y'all are absolutely
Are you not excited to do this show today?
No, I am. I mean, I'm saying this weather makes me want to shut down.
Yeah.
Go drink some of those superior margs I see being set up.
Yeah.
And go golf all day. That sounds amazing. Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
But shout out Snaps, man. Y'all keep showing up at that youtube.com/ just Google Snaps CFP. It doesn't matter. You'll find it.
When I go to it, I just Snaps T-Bob.
Does that work too?
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
Okay, hell yeah.
Snaps T-Bob.
Nice, dude. God, SEO dubs all around. And as always, check out Off Campus. Jimbo coming up Tuesday.
Yeah, he'll be Tuesday for the first 2 hours. So, the way he views quarterback is kind of incredible. And I know a lot of people are going to make Jimbo jokes still, like what he's done with quarterbacks and his track record. It's very insightful to hear him break down quarterback play.
All right, guys. Are we allowed to play Dennis Allen sound again?
I think they are in the right.
Alondra, give me – I see a lot here. I'll call for something after this. I want you to give me what you believe to be – actually, just give me – okay, let's just start with Allen one. Give me Dennis Allen's overall thoughts in the game.
Yeah, I thought we executed, pretty well. And certainly there's still things that we've got to do better. I think we scored on like our first 9 drives, and so that's encouraging. When you win a game like that, I think the biggest thing is keeping guys grounded and understand that this is one of 17. Let's focus on the things that we have to improve on. All right, we'll enjoy the win, but we understand we've got a lot of things that we've got to do better.
I think that's funny because, head coaches always want to be measured, right? And rightfully so. They want to maintain perspective. It's one game. You're only as good as your next play. But it's funny to hear the kind of disconnect of, like, you're trying to say that, and then you're like, yeah, did we go 9 of 9 offensively? But, there's things we can improve. It's like, well, kind of not. You kind of played the perfect offensive game in some ways. Here is Dennis Allen on his thoughts on Derek Carr. Allen 3.
Yeah, look, I thought he played well. I thought he managed the game well. The first touchdown pass to Shaheed was awesome. There was a little bit of pressure on him. He had to step up in the pocket, stepped up, made the throw, put it right on the money. And so that was awesome to see. And look, him no different than anybody else on our team. We're going to go and look at a handful of plays that, I wish we would have, and we had opportunities. And so I think that's the biggest thing that we've got to focus on is cleaning those things up as we head into week 2 against Dallas.
Yeah, okay, maybe we don't play this Allen sound. Look, it was a good game, though, yesterday. Not very exciting sound, but it was a good game nonetheless yesterday, okay? Yeah. Shout out to the Saints. Hell yeah. Hell of a start. Cowgirls up next. It is officially Taylor Hate Week, guys. Send Taylor all of your hate. Online, in the mail, no pipe bombs, guys. But anything else that you want to attack Taylor with this week.
Or anthrax.
No anthrax either.
Yep.
Don't do what we used to do in high school and pee in a Gatorade bottle and put it tilted so that when he opens it, it pours out all over him. I would hate for somebody to do that. All right, more OTB coming up next. Closing hour 2.
Off the bench.
The worst.
Not the worst.
Why would we do that?
Why would we do that?
That's just so stupid and mean and
Yeah.
awful. Go to trashrangers.com. Trashrangers.com for all your waste management needs. Trash Rangers. They're the answer, man. And look, if you are a business anywhere in the listening area and you need your trash removal taken care of, like you need front load dumpsters emptied 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, even 6 days a week. You need any size roll off dumpster. Maybe you got a big project going on, something like that. they got you. What about residential trash pickup? Well, if you're in Livingston or Ascension, make the switch today. It's a level of service and give a damn that you just don't get from the national guys. Go to trashrangers.com.
Yeah, go to that website. Remember, brand new website. Trashrangers.com is really set up for success. You'll love the new look of the site. Residential service, you can sign up for it right there. Also, those roll-off dumpsters, 3 different sizes depending on the size of your job. Call them, let them know what you're looking for, and they'll make sure that you have it delivered right to you. Trashrangers.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has back-to-school savings like $16,000 off 25 Ram 1500 trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $16,000 off. All new Bayou vehicles come with a complimentary extended warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or
Welcome back to Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. I hope you're all having a great day. I mean, it's an incredible day outside right now. How could you not be having a fantastic day? We're out here at the U Club for the LSU Alumni Annual Golf Tournament. We have been celebrating the New Orleans Saints. We have been bemoaning a bit your LSU Tigers. Where do we put the record at now? I told you last week, I felt like after that game, with some of the flaws that I saw, the ceiling kind of was starting to feel like 9-3 with maybe 8-4 being the most realistic. I'm not going to overreact too much to this game. And so I'm not going to, like, drop to, like, we made a lot of jokes Saturday as we were watching at Don Juan. We're like, negative play, we're down to 6-6 now. Pod's like, we're back up to 7. I'm not going to drop all the way down to 7-5 or anything like that. But a 5-3 SEC record, 8-4 overall. I think after this week feels firmly realistic. And unfortunately, you could be such a prisoner of the moment, especially in light of the injuries, as to say that, is that the new ceiling? Like, do you really believe this team is capable of 6-2ing the SEC?
I have no idea until I see Saturday what that looks like against an SEC opponent on the road. I have no idea. USC went out and they hammered Utah State, which they're supposed to. Okay, so you should have taken advantage of a game against USC. You didn't. They won, but they looked great on Saturday. I need to see it against an SEC opponent that just hammered Kentucky on the road. Then maybe I can get into the prediction game of record and what it's going to look like. Like right now, I have no idea, because there was a lot of good on the USC tape in which you lost, and there was a lot of bad on the Nicholls tape which you won.
Yeah.
So I think Saturday is going to be a great indicator of exactly what we can kind of expect from LSU in conference play.
I guess the only problem for me, again, is, like I said, in that USC game, it was actually very – and that's where maybe, Kelly's whole explanation of, like, we were tired, blah, blah, whatever, does ring true somewhat, is the USC game was sharp and very solidly played and executed. They did not win, but they really overcame, I thought, some obvious personnel deficiencies. And so – I do believe in the bigger games you'll get more of a lock-in factor, and you'll probably look more like that team than what you looked like this time. But again, the personnel deficiencies that I even saw in the USC game that you were having to overcome have all been exacerbated by now not having Guillory, now not having John Emery. And so it's just tough, man. It's so hard to go 6-2 in the SEC. It is so hard to do it. And it's actually the greatest thing that Brian Kelly's done in his first 2 years is do that. And granted, if to Jake's point, even for Monday or last Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever, it's last year we probably would have said the same things the last 2 years, right? That there was no chance that they would be able to do it, and they surprised us. So can you surprise us a third year in a row?
And also, this is not an excuse, but it's just fact. Nicholls is not Southern or Grambling. No disrespect to those programs. Nicholls makes the FCS playoffs almost every single year. They've won the Southland Conference. And so I do want to respect the opponent a little bit more, because we talked about the parallels of losing your opener and then coming back and thrashing an FCS opponent. And a lot of people on Saturday are like, well, the last 2 years we at least thrashed our FCS opponent. This is not the same opponent that you had there.
But again, that's what the South Carolina game will show us so much, right? What's the truth of this team? Like, are they going to – because there's no excuse to take this game lightly,
No,
like,
it's game day. I don't know how in the world, but it's literally college game day.
Like, if you want to say that you kind of effed around and found out against Nicholls, I've been there. I never prepared in the same way for Northwestern State that you did Oregon or anything like that. So, like, I get it. But you're going to have to prove it this Saturday. And somebody's accusing me of overreacting, changing my record predictions. Well, not really, because at a certain point it's also mathematical. Like, it's mathematical, right? I said to get to 10 wins, you had to win your out-of-conference games and then go 6-2 in the SC, which is just mathematical. So when you lose out-of-conference, the only way to get to 10 wins is 7-1. So you're automatically pushed down to 9-3, right? And then when I look at the quality of the team, then my brain tells me, well, do I really expect them to do that? Like, I'm just trying to talk in terms of it as what is most likely. And at this point, I'm 84. But I will say this. I'm going to take it 1 week at a time. I'm going to enjoy every college football Saturday for what it is, because, I mean, we haven't even got into the week as a whole, like the 11 a.m. slot last week.
Off the bench.
All right, more OTB coming up in hour number 3. Go to Goodwood Sexual Men's Health. How about that, dude? YourGoodwood.com. YourGoodwood.com. Have you seen the billboard that just says limp?
No.
On there? Yeah, it's an incredible billboard, dude. I mean, just A+. It's right there on I-10. limp, and then it's your Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Look, man, it doesn't matter if maybe you're suffering from ED, maybe you want to look into some hormone replacement therapy, just really any longevity and anti-aging clinics. The bottom line is that at Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, we offer a comprehensive package that has the right options for you to help you maximize yourself.
Yeah, remember, you don't have to settle, and that's where Goodwood comes in. So go to the website. You can book your appointment right there, top right corner of the website. That's yourgoodwood.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. here on Monday, September 9th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect partly cloudy skies with a high of 91. In hour 3 of today's show, we'll have weekend winners at 9 a.m. Then at 9:15, Devin Snow hops on the show as well. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch it in the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. You can also follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the University Club, starts now.
Let's go, baby, let's go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah, they said I gotta come off the bench.
Now, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back. OTB live here at the LSU Alumni Annual Golf Classic, benefiting the LSU Alumni Association. Sold out tournament day, ton of great sponsors, including Coca-Cola, Mockler Beverage, Boot Up Customs, the Triad Neutron Group, Bayou Apparel, and tons more. Let's go ahead and start hour 3. We got Hold the Mayo coming up next, but let's start how we start every single Monday, and that's with some weekend winners.
That's how winning is done.
That's right! We can't have anyone freak out there, okay? We've got to keep our composure. We've got too far.
I'm by winning. I win here and I win there. Now what?
Are you doing what it takes to win a championship?
Wow, winning.
Well, then I guess there's only one thing left to do. What's that? Win the whole thing.
All right, my first weekend winner, probably the biggest winner of the weekend, and that is Northern Illinois going into South Bend and beating Notre Dame in kind of the least fluky way possible.
Yeah.
I mean, a no BS win. Beating them up in the trenches, running the ball better, playing great defense. The referees tried their best to screw Northern Illinois at the end. I was about ready to kill someone. In case you missed it, it's 3rd and short, about 30 seconds left. Notre Dame has one timeout. Okay, Northern Illinois is in field goal range. They have 3rd and short. If they get a first down, they can run down the clock to where the kick will decide the game. Notre Dame never gets the ball back. The man gets the first down by 2 yards. I mean, a yard and a half at least. And inexplicably, the ref runs out there half a yard short. They review it, and because sometimes they're so beholden as to our own rules as to become dumb, we can't clearly see where the ball is, even though you can, though.
That one's
they review
inexcusable.
It's upheld, and then they don't even wind the clock. Did you know that?
Yeah.
They don't even wind the clock, so Notre Dame gets to retain their timeout. Anyway, shout out Northern Illinois. Kicker comes up with a huge kick. They're up 16-14. They have to kick off. Notre Dame returns to the 40, but thankfully justice prevails. They stop Riley Leonard and Notre Dame, and you want to talk about how we never actually know what's going to happen in college football? Here Notre Dame goes from going on the road in College Station, looking really damn good, coming out with a ranked dub, and then next week they go home and lose to Northern Illinois. And if you haven't seen the head coach's interview from after the game for Northern Illinois, in which he's in tears, in which he's ecstatic, it's the best moment of the weekend. Shout out to all the NIU fam out there.
Yeah, that was great, man. You're right. They went and earned that. They tried to take it from them. They didn't allow it. And then they get a victory on the road. Now, top 25 team coming in at number 25.
Oh, really?
Northern Illinois.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Shout out, dude.
Yeah. And why is that important? Because if you're able to go run the MAC, where are you going to find yourself after having a Notre Dame victory?
Group of 5 champ in the playoff,
baby. In a 12-team playoff.
In a 12-team playoff, baby.
That's why those are so big. I mean, you get one of those. You can even have a slip-up somewhere else in non-conference and still have a great chance to get into the 12-team playoff. Weekend winner, Ladd McConkey. You hear that, everybody? You know who you are. Yeah, game-winning touchdown.
What?
The one that put him up against the Las Vegas Raiders.
What?
And it was because of a great move that he made. Had 5 catches, 40 yards, and a score. Take that, buddy. Ladd McConkey going out there holding it down.
Weekend winner.
Game-winning touchdown.
Jackson Hester, who not only turned 15 today, but got to watch his Los Angeles Chargers finally start the season 1-0 by finishing out a game.
Hey, all jokes. Look, I know we're not going to talk Chargers today. Y'all know I love my Bolts. That felt different. They closed out a game. In years past, they would have found a way to lose the game. They outscored the Raiders 13-3 in the fourth quarter. They finished it with J.K. Dobbins. Hopefully he can stay healthy. Knock on wood. A long run, kind of put it away. It felt different. Hardball, game ball. Let's go.
All right, guys, back in the studio. Go.
All right, my first weekend winner is going to be Quinn Ewers and the Texas Longhorns. They absolutely dominated Michigan on Saturday, rushed for a total of 143 yards, but Quinn Ewers was 24 for 36, 246 yards, and 3 touchdowns. The Longhorns looking just as good as advertised in the offseason.
Yeah, Quinn Ewers, man, the cat is so buttery smooth right now. His ability to navigate the chaos of the pocket, step up, all while keeping his eyes downfield, finding the space in the defense, and then the touch on Quinn Ewers' throws, it is unparalleled. Nobody throws, and it's weird because, like, he can also rifle it in there, right? You see that from all the different arm angles. A lot of those quick bubble screens, you see it. But, like, his balls look like, his throws look like catching them would be like catching pillows almost. They just like float in there so perfectly. To me, Texas announced themselves as much of a national championship contender as Georgia, as Ohio State. Anybody else you want to say? Because, yes, Michigan's offense is flawed. Still, the Texas defense looked good. Granted, we don't know the full measure of it, but they look better from the secondary. But that's a good Michigan defense that still has Kenneth Grant, Mason Graham, Will Johnson, and Texas made them look like children. The O-line was blowing that great Michigan D-line off of the ball on Saturday. Massive win for the Longhorns. I'll even throw up a little horns up here.
I'm not going to do that.
Sark and the Longhorns, again, I think really announced themselves Saturday.
Hey, I do want to give Quinn Ewers an attaboy as well, Alondra, because this is somebody that all he's done. Look, he humbled himself after he went to Ohio State, and he came to Texas. He's like, look, I got to kind of tighten up here. Got to tighten up a little bit, and he did.
Yeah.
But also him handling Arch Manning behind him.
Yeah.
Think about that. I am Quinn Ewers. I am one of the 3 highest-rated high school prospects of all time, right? That's how good I am. But I keep hearing about the backup quarterback who's also in that category of one of the 3 highest-rated high school prospects of all time, right? So I have got all the attention. Like, I covered the Sugar Bowl. Like, I was assigned to that game for SiriusXM, and I understand it was Arch's hometown, and that's the first time that media got to talk to him, but everybody there wanted to talk to Arch and not Quinn Ewers.
So this is very funny. I miss this because I don't watch any commercials when I watch because I just go to whatever game's not on commercial on my computer. But there's a Ewers Fansville commercial where he doesn't want to call for backup. That's excellent. That's incredibly meta. Well done, leaning into the joke. That's what we love to see.
Yeah, and he's handling all of that, and he's thriving on the field. He doesn't care. Like last week, right, in a blowout against Colorado State, it wasn't how well Quinn played. He played great. It was when Arch came in, he led them to a touchdown score late in the game. That's a lot to be able to process and handle. He's doing it about as well as you possibly could, and I agree with T-Bob, man. That's a national championship caliber team. I know some of the assistant coaches on that team, and they feel better right now than they did at any point a year ago, and that could be scary.
Taylor, you're up, dude. Got to be Dak Prescott, huh?
No. So actually, I have a winner and loser in the same game. It comes from the high school ranks. Auburn commit Alvin Henderson. He plays for Elba High School out there in Alabama. 40 carries, 435 yards, and 10 rushing touchdowns in a single game. All Alabama State records. The loser in that game, the team he plays for, Elba High School, because they lost that game 80-78 in the highest scoring game in Alabama high school football history. So weekend winner Alvin Henderson, loser the rest of his team. Give my guys some support.
God, dude, that's the craziest stat. That's a good find, Tay-Tay. I'm proud of you, dude. I'm proud of you. This Dak Prescott contract must have you fired up because you're locked in today. I mean, how could the next weekend winner not be Guggenheim? A name that will live in LSU infamy forever. A man who's on the beans. Mayo was giving him love. The entire internet giving him love. And, of course, like Jake and Matt and others alluded to, already a high school legend. But I didn't know about that, right? Like, I don't watch a ton of Louisiana high school football. Guggenheim going into Death Valley, having a dominant 100-yard rushing performance. Got to be a good feeling for him, man. Shout out Googs.
I mean, I will back that up. I enjoyed calling his game in high school, and I just remember being like, my gosh, like this guy has to have somewhere that he can play. Like, has to. Now, full disclosure, I lost him. I didn't know he went to Nicholls, had no idea, but I found him, and he will always have a 67-yard touchdown run against the LSU Tigers. He's from Kenner, Louisiana. You don't think that's going to mean – like, in 30 years, right? When he's 55 years old, however old he is, I don't know. I don't know how old college kids are anymore with
He's
COVID.
a senior, I think. So, yeah, who knows?
Okay. So he's going to have that. He's going to be able to, hey, his grandkids, hey.
Not just the 6-7
watch
yarder,
this.
but the whole
I mean, the whole
stat
game.
line.
The whole game, but he's
line
always
is
going to
awesome.
have a moment. And that is a guy that just plays football because he loves it. And he was a lot of fun to watch, man. Shout out to you. I hope you have a fantastic season in the Southland Conference and go continue to be who you are, because that was too gritty to be pretty.
All right, who wants to go next? Anybody? I got more. Anybody?
I mean, Tay, I know you have to have.
Yeah, I have another
Cowboys.
weekend loser. My weekend loser has to be Shedeur Sanders, guys. Not only in the postgame press conference did he throw his entire offensive line under the bus. I get it. They're not good. You don't do that. Also, he was pulled out of the game with 2 minutes left for his backup quarterback, and Shedeur Sanders decided he was just going to leave the field all on his own and go ahead and go to the locker room and let his team finish that game. Not a good look for Shedeur Sanders, weekend loser.
Yeah, real hoe energy from Shedeur. And I'm someone who's pretty consistently stood, I've advocated for Prime. I think he's I think what he did at Jack State was awesome. I think he made Colorado significantly better in year one. But there's stuff like this that makes me question kind of fostering a team culture and a team environment when you're so clearly letting your son just kind of have
Run the program?
the run of the place. Yeah, it's disappointing all the way around if you're a Colorado fan or a Prime supporter, I'd say.
It is a very bad look. It is. And I agree with the things that you said, T-Bob, about what he did at Jackson State, what he brought to Colorado, the attention they had early last year. They haven't had that since Cordell Stewart was the quarterback there. But when you see the optics of it, it is not playing out the way that it should and the way that you would want it to. I mean, to leave the field, man, you got to sit out there with your brothers. You got to go shake hands with the other team. They beat you fair and square. They beat you up. You got to go shake hands with that team. And then just some of the excuses that are being made. Look, if you want all the spotlight and you want to be able to have all the NIL deals and all the things that surround there, and you're driving G-Wagons to class and all that, like, that's great. That's the part of college football right now that, as a former player, like, I can appreciate. But you're more of a pro now, with that being said. So what do you do in the pros? You got to answer tough questions, and you got to answer tough questions, and you got to do it in a way that is best for the program and team.
Yeah, there was a tweet last year where Deion's son did you are a straight hoe to someone, and, that's kind of what that energy felt like from Shedeur. Also, guys, winners. I told you Lincoln was going to be the best stadium in the country, bar none, Saturday night.
Oh, so
that
good.
place was absolutely electric. Nebraska, if they can pass the Rutgers test, Nebraska will most likely be 7-0 going into the Ohio State game. That's crazy.
My God, Nebraska Rutgers, sign me up for all 60 minutes of that. How about that?
Yeah.
Now, I'm a sicko, and I love that brand of football, but the country's going to be saying that. Who would have thought that?
Weekend winner, the transfer portal, man. It's awesome. And it's leading us to a golden age of college football. Just even look at the early slate of games. I'm watching Kyle McCord and Haynes King battle to a 31-28 ACC exciting game where, even though Syracuse kind of ran away with it in the end, Georgia Tech really fights their back, makes it interesting. I know Arkansas ends up losing through just a litany of errors, but I'm watching Talon Green single-handedly reignite an entire program. He looks awesome. I'm watching Connor Bazelak at Bowling Green put Penn State fans in the psych ward.
Yeah.
Quinn Ewers bringing Texas firmly all the way back. The list goes on and on and on. The spreading out of talent through the portal has led to better football teams and more exciting games all over the place, and we are entering a golden age of college football. Sub-winner here, Bobby P. You Machiavellian MFer. Bobby Petrino created the perfect game to get Sam Pittman fired, but to get himself hired, right? Oh, look how good the offense is. I chose Taylen Green. Look how exciting he is. Oh, these mistakes that end up losing the game, that's the head coach's thing. I'm just here to run the offense. Bobby P., I see you, you little freaking snake in the weeds. I see you. Good job. Well played, buddy. Well played. I'm ready to embrace the hog.
Okay, so yeah, they are much better than we thought they were going to be. Bobby P did a great job until late in the game. He kind of wet the bed. Some of the play calling late in the game was not great.
There's receivers drop the ball. They have special teams errors. Like earlier in the game, Taylen Green has one of the craziest scrambles I've ever seen. Throws it back in, so puts it on the receiver's hands. He drops it. Next play, pick six.
Pick six.
The bad teams do what Arkansas did. But they have a badass quarterback, and that's fun, if nothing else, if you're the Hogs.
Yeah, he's going to be a handful for every team that they play this year, and kind of changes the outlook on that game for multiple teams. Gosh, it's shocking they lost that game.
He's looking at LSU pretty excitedly now. How's the 30-year-old former pro baseball player doing, Moose? Do we know?
For who?
Arkansas. He used to play for the Marlins.
Receiver.
They have a 30-year-old guy who used to play for the Marlins at receiver now. I didn't know if you would know through your baseball knowledge.
Moose only worries about LSU baseball players.
Yeah, that's true.
Red Sox.
I still have a ton more winners, losers, but we got to go. We got to get to our guy, Hold the Mayo, next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
Go to Pinnacle Exterior Construction, PECbuilt.com, PECbuilt.com. You go to Pinnacle Exterior Construction, and, whether you're looking to build a pool, maybe just an outdoor living area, outdoor kitchen, any size or type of fence, anything and everything, it's all at Pinnacle, where they build the spaces, you build the memories. Go to the website, PECbuilt.com, and look at the gallery. You are going to be flabbergasted by the quality of the work. I mean, blown away by the artisanship. There's only one answer, and it's always Pinnacle Exterior Construction.
PECbuilt.com is the website, and it's residential, it's commercial, no matter what you're looking for. T-Bob laid it out there for you. But if you need a fence of any kind, they can get it done, any size as well. Artificial turf, if you want to be able to hit on the putting green before you come out here to U Club at the golf tournament, well, you can put that in your backyard. You can put it at your business as well. PECbuilt.com.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner.
Welcome back to Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Wait, are we supposed to call Dev on this side? Okay, you calling him right now? Oh, we got him right now? Dev Snow, Moose. A.K.A. Moose. Great work, dude. Well done. A.K.A. Hold the Mayo. How about it? Spread quarters. I saw Yam live. He still doesn't want to bring himself over. He doesn't want to acknowledge the Carfax. He doesn't want to be a Carney. But, bruh, Dev, how about the Saints yesterday?
Yeah, Carr's at the shop with a full synthetic oil change.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah, it looked like he got some new wipers, too.
Okay, so give me the vibe. You do the immediate show, the post-game show over there in Spread Court. It's a great call-in show. Obviously, it's 1 week, and you can be it down and be like, it's the Panthers. Even though the Panthers defense is good, but like, blah, 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 blah. What was the overall vibe like yesterday in Spread Quarters?
Oh, I mean, I was at the game, too. So, first of all, this is the NFL. I heard a couple wild takes in the offseason about how the Panthers were going to be better than the Saints. So there you go. 47-10. Bryce Young looks like he's 7 out there. He looks 7 years old. It's just not looking good for them.
Sad, dude.
How to set the yeah, me too. How to set the tone? Derek Carr to Shaheed. You know what I'm saying? First drive, that was it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That was
third
what
down,
we all did want.
man in his face.
Well, and it was third down, like 3rd and 4 or whatever, right? And you would think that that's going to be, a Derek Carr check down or, I bet the defense was just shocked when that happened. It just, I don't know, man. Like when I saw that, I just knew, like, okay, Derek's at the shop, the Carr's at the shop. So, and then the vibe is what you would expect the vibe for a 1-0 Saints team, which is like my favorite time of the year when we go 1-0, because it truly feels like we got something. Yeah, dude. It truly feels like we got something.
Well, and again, we kind of talked about it though, Dev. Let's just take a complete step back. Last year you win 9 games. Okay, did you get better or worse in the offseason? You added Chase Young. Like, if anything, you stayed, but I think you would argue that you actually got a bit better, especially with how good Taliesin Fuanga looked at left tackle here in game number 1. And because everybody's a year older, a year more, like that's everything else. So, like, okay, you got better. You're you beat a division rival. The Falcons look awful. They lose. It was kind of the perfect Sunday. And, Dev, you got Clint Kubiak. I mean, that was the whole thing, right? Like, that Pete Carmichael was analytically one of the worst OCs, if not the worst, him and Arthur Smith last year. And Kubiak was supposed to be this savior. And that Saints offense looked night and day different in how it employed the weapons, how it took advantage, how it spread the ball around. Like, Clint Kubiak could not have had a better debut.
Yeah, and, like, when you look at, like, the stat sheets, like, it just looks like there was a genius running the offense.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it looks like. You know what I'm saying? Carr 19 for 23, 200 yards, 3 touchdowns. I mean, dude, look how many people ran the ball. I think we had like 100 80-something yards of rushing, and so many people ran the ball. You know what I'm saying? Alvin Kamara, Jamal Williams, Taysom Hill, Derek Carr got him some. Jordan Mims. You know, it was like a perfect execution of an offense. You can't not be happy about it.
Hey, Dev, I want to ask you outside of Carr, though. Like, what was, in a positive way, what was the most surprising thing outside of Derek Carr being highly efficient and 3 touchdowns through the air? Like, what was something that you thought was going to maybe go bad, but it actually played pretty well against Carolina?
I mean, probably the pass protection. It was solid. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't as bad as we thought it was going to be. And he just got, like, I hate to go back to Derek Carr, but it's like he didn't make any bonehead decisions. Like, there's nothing I could really point out. I was like, you know, that, hey, man, this guy was kind of playing dumb, you know? So I'd say the pass protection, I'd say the lack of bad decisions, I was surprised that there was none. And then you spread the ball out. You got the ball to a lot of people, whether it was running it or, you know, whether it was passing it. And, of course, on defense, dude, I mean.
Yeah, the defense is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, Alontae Taylor, 3 sacks as a DB. That's never happened in Saints history, at least. Dude, and you even saw guys like Foskey had his best game, which is crazy. But, like, Foskey it wasn't anything super impactful, but he was in on the action. You know, he was in on a bunch of assisted tackles, and it was a dream come true yesterday.
Chase Young looked awesome, I thought, dude. I know he doesn't end up on the stat sheet too much, but, I mean, he was consistently felt. Also, he was literally twice the size of Bryce Young. Like, when Chase Young would get next to Bryce Young, it was like, how in the world do these two cats play the same sport? Dev, I think, again, a million positive takeaways, but right there at the top with anything that you got to be excited about is the running game and specifically the resurgence of Alvin Kamara here.
Yeah, that was a really Alvin Kamara game, too, because, I mean, that's what you want. You don't want Alvin Kamara to have 25 carries. You want him to have exactly how many he had. 15 carries, 83 yards, 5.5 average. You know, he got his receptions. He didn't have 100 yards receiving, anything like that. But he was, you know what I'm saying? He was effective. So I thought that was a very Alvin Kamara game. And I think it's only going to get better. I mean, I'm not afraid of the Cowgirls. I don't know who's been sleeping under a rock, but the Saints are 10-5 against the Cowgirls the last 15, dude. We own it. We own it.
Yeah, Dev, I mean, that was literally my next question was there anything that you wanted to say maybe back to Taylor in studio, who is a Cowboys fan, and just, you know, it is kind of a rivalry situation, so anything you'd like to say to any Cowboy fan listening?
Yeah, do you remember is the first thing I want to say, because in the last 26 years, the Saints have owned this team. It doesn't matter if we go to Dallas. Doesn't matter if they come here. So many memories. The Mike Carney 3-touchdown game. The Malcolm Jenkins stripping Roy Williams on Thanksgiving in 2010 game. C.J. Spiller, 80 yards to the house in overtime game.
The only play C.J. Spiller ever made for the New Orleans Saints, dude.
Yeah, do you remember is what I want to say. And it don't matter what kind of Saints team we've had. You know, we always play up against the Cowgirls. We love going to Dallas. We love going to Jerry World. We cannot wait. So we 4-2 in Jerry World, or at least in Dallas, in the last 15. So the Saints will be ready for this game.
Do you remember? Dev, going to Saturday, how about your boy Guggenheim? Certifiably on the beans.
Cannon,
I mean, dude, I had to just say it because I was asleep. You know, I didn't know about Guggenheim like that.
Yeah.
And wow, man, what a kid. And then I find out that him and his dad are already following me on Twitter. It all made sense. This kid's on the team.
He's from Kenner, huh?
Yeah.
He's definitely Kenner, he is definitely a certified Mayo P1. Have you spoken? I saw you all tweeting back and forth. Have you spoken to Guggenheim yet since the game?
Oh, absolutely. He's coming on the podcast during that bye week.
Let's go, nice. Dude. Let's go. The rise of
the jersey. Yeah.
Dev, where do you stand with Brian Kelly right now?
He's just going through a lot, I guess. You know, it's more so. It's not. I mean, I was happy LSU figured out in the second half, even after the Guggenheimer 60-whatever-yard breakthrough. But Brian Kelly, man, like, he's yelling at he wants to fight the kicker. You know, he's losing his cool, and we only in week 2 or week 3, whatever you want to call it. Let's just see, man. I hate to see him blow another gasket, bro. It just never looks good.
Yeah, so on the broadcast, Gordy had him right after that. He's like, we work on that situation, like, you know, all the time of running the field goal team onto the field with, 3 seconds left, and we got to get it snapped, and we got to have, it looked like any kind of normal field goal.
They got lucky to have a review in the first place to even allow them to be able to kick it, right? Like, how did they not? I'm just confused as to why the field goal team wasn't out there just the entire time.
Well, they had him out there, then they brought him off the field, and they made him go back on the field.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why were they not just lined up the entire review ready to go?
I don't know. I don't know. I know the rules. You got to have at least 2 seconds to be able to snap the ball. There was 3 on there, so you're wondering, could they have lined the offense up and, killed the clock with 1 second left and given them a chance to just line up? But he was not happy about it.
No. And then he had to go do the interview, like, right after he ripped that dude up. And shout out to Brian Kelly for, I guess, like, he went from, like, 100 back down to 1 for the interview. It was impressive.
Dev, switching back to the Saints, defensively, you mentioned Alontae Taylor. You talked a little bit about Young. Demario Davis continues to just fly around. Tyrann Mathieu doing Tyrann Mathieu things. How do you feel, though? So not only do the Saints do well, but then after an offseason of getting their beak sucked, here the Falcons come out and just look like trash. Kirk O'Chains throws 2 picks. How are we feeling about the Falcons?
That's why you can't ever say that the Falcons are going to be something by looking at paper. You can't do it because you're not considering that they're the Falcons. You see what I'm saying? So there you go. Like, they were talking a lot of mess. Falcons, I know it's only been 1 week, but, those guys have been talking a lot of mess. They've been the solidified favorite for the NFC South the entire offseason, and there you go, bro. And back to the Saints, 47-10 in the NFL. That's strong as garlic. I don't care who you're playing.
Well, and didn't the Bucs go 37-20 in their game? So, this division, not looking like the Falcons here after week 1.
Yeah, shout out Baker Mayfield, dude.
Yeah, man.
I remember when this guy was just getting crucified every single day on Twitter, in Cleveland, and then just had to get ran through the ringer. And look at Baker Mayfield.
Watson. Yeah, you think Cleveland wishes they had him instead of Deshaun freaking Watson right now? Dev, if the Saints beat the Cowboys, will you consider yourself a Carney? Is that what it takes? What does it take for you to be a Carney?
I think it's going to take 3 games.
Wow.
Not 2.
Not even beating the Cowboys in Dallas? Okay, that's fair.
No, because it's the Cowgirls, and that's not – what have the Cowgirls done as far as winning anything big the last however many years? How about beat the Philadelphia Eagles after that at home? Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you beat the Eagles at home. That goes a long way.
So what if they lose Cowboys then beat the Eagles? Carney or no?
I'd like for them to beat the Eagles. So I'd be super happy.
It's okay. It's okay. We'll take this thing week by week. Look at
the games he's going to get the chance to win everybody's heart over. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, great efficient game by Derek Carr. We could see a few more yards. He could pass for a few more yards, but no big deal. You're going to get to play the Chiefs. You get to play the Falcons. That's going to be a division game. So I think by the time we roll around that Thursday night Denver game, I think everybody could be in the car.
Deb Stone, a.k.a. Hold the Mayo, holding down at Spread Quarters. Go sub to the YouTube channel. Check out the Saints post games. Also, go to htmsports.com/shop to get all your merch. Dev, where are we going for RB&R Day today? We know yet?
No, I'm getting in the truck, and I'm just going to drive far away. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
You going to Thibodeau in honor of the Colonels?
That'd be awesome.
Guggenheim.
Do a Guggenheim.
Yeah.
Guggenheim special. That would be lit. Yeah, I might have to do that. I just want to drive out of New Orleans because, I've hit a lot of places down here, and it's time to kind of switch it up.
Hell yeah, man. You're the best, Dev. Take it easy, brother.
All right, y'all take care. Who dat?
Who dat, baby? Who dat? Show the Carfax. Through 1 week, it looks good. We'll see. Will these tires hold up, Bo? We'll see. All right, coming up next, more OTB.
Off the bench.
Excuse me. Go to Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. The website is geauxtommies.com, geauxtommies.com. If you need reliable, just efficient service with integrity throughout every single step along the way, with just decades of experience. Tommy's came down to join the Golden Band from Tigerland on scholarship back in the day. How do you become a musician of that caliber? Because you're a perfectionist. You're committing to learning, to getting it done the right way. He brought all of that into the workplace. For 20 years, he worked for someone else in this business. He learned his way. He said, you know what? There's things I would still do differently. Let's do our own. He starts Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding, and now 7 years in a row, all 7 years in existence, they've been given that Angie's Super Service Award, and that's because they give super service. So you need hardy plank or vinyl siding, wood or vinyl windows, any type of door. Tommy's, make them one of the bids on your project. Let him prove it to you. GoTommys.com.
He also.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644.
Welcome back to Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB here live at U Club for the LSU Alumni Golf Tournament. Could not be a more beautiful morning here outside. What a day to get to do the show outside, which I normally hate being out of studio the older I get, but
I'm the
not when it feels
opposite.
like this, dude.
I
Not when
love
it feels
being
like
out
this.
of studio. It feels like a field trip day.
Oh, no.
Oh, I love it. It feels like a field trip day. It's like we're working, but it doesn't feel like normal work, and it goes like we're almost done.
Yeah, but this is also like a Monday after,
I don't know, man. I love not being tethered. Maybe it's because my other show, like I'm at home, and like even like during breaks, I can go grab a snack. I can use the restroom. I can go say what's up to the kids. And it's just quick. I don't know.
Shout out the sponsors today.
Company man
tournament.
over here. I love the studio. It's great.
Coca-Cola, Mockler Beverage, Boot Up Customs, Triad, Neutron Group, Bayou Apparel, tons more. No, I do. It has nothing to do with being a company man. My favorite part of this weekend was finally being back to my routine. Watch football in my office all day Saturday, do whiskey and wine, wake up, do our Snap Sunday recap show, bring the kids to church, go to soccer. Like, just the best feeling in the world as you get older is being back in those routines. So, we've mainly just talked LSU and the Saints all day. Hopefully tomorrow we can get into there's so much to get to around the NFL and around all of college football, honestly. It was a great weekend on both fronts. Malik Neighbors really just distancing himself from Daniel Jones is hilarious. The fact that Baker Mayfield is so much clearly better than Deshaun Watson is hilarious. Are we worried about Joe Burrow in Cincinnati, or
they've been slow starters?
Is this just what they do every September, right?
Eventually, you'd like to get them to figure it out.
But right now, it's time for a Tay-Tay NFL story of the day.
It's time for Tay-Tay's NFL Story of the Day. Your daily dose of NFL news from Taylor Sharp.
Okay, so you guys thought I was going to go Dak Prescott. I am not going Dak Prescott. Look, we get it. They gave him a 4-year extension, richest contract in NFL history. Woohoo, we're all excited, and I am depressed. I am going to go with Tyreek Hill because this is Scotty Scheffler 2.0. Tyreek Hill sounded like he was rushing to get to the game yesterday, and he was detained by police and put in handcuffs, and not unlike Scotty Scheffler. On his way to the Masters, he was let go, played in that game, had 130 yards and a touchdown, so it didn't affect him a ton. This is still ongoing. There's no word why he was put in handcuffs and detained, but Drew Rosenhaus's agent actually showed up to the scene and took him, took him to the stadium himself. It was filmed by a Miami Dolphins fan who was in traffic going to the game yelling, "Hey, you guys are arresting Tyreek Hill," but he was able to play in that game. I don't think anything long-term is going to come of this, but it's just funny that we were talking about this during the Masters. Like, this is something we've never seen before, and we kind of saw the exact same thing on Sunday.
There's a couple funny jokes. I thought Spencer Phillips nailed it Spencer Hall, Bum Phillips, where Spencer said, yeah, you may have an agent, but do you have a man who can instantly teleport to the location of your arrest? Drew Rosenhaus once again proving why he is the GOAT when it comes to wide receiver agents. But, Taylor, for this being your NFL story of the day, you kind of buried the lead.
Oh, yeah?
Did you see the Tyreek Hill celebration on the 80-yard touchdown?
I did not.
He put his hands behind his back and pretended to be arrested.
I love that. I mean, he's got. Look, I get that he's fast. I get that he's. There's word that he was going over 100 miles an hour. So slow down a little bit, Tyreek.
I'm not going to offer an opinion. I don't know. Commenting on that situation without the details could only go badly. So I don't know. I don't know about the arrest itself. I think it's very funny, though, that he would go to score an 80-yard touchdown and put his hands behind his back like that.
Oh,
and according to Drew Rosenhaus, Tyreek said he loves the police and says that he wants to be a police officer one day. So, I don't know, man.
Did he really?
Yeah, that's what Rosenhaus said on the ESPN hit.
Oh, my God.
It's so good. Hey, Rosenhaus is a freaking legend, dude. Boys, I want to remind you about a couple of great venues. You just got engaged. Congratulations. Now I want you to head over to oakparkevents.com. You are going to immediately gain brownie points with your wife. Oak Park has 2 unique venues. We have Oak Lodge and Park 73, okay? And for over 20 years, these all-inclusive venues, true turnkey service here. We got great food, excellent service, personalized ambiance, a bunch of different settings that you could choose from. And again, guys, we've done thousands of weddings. So show your wife you care. Go to oakparkevents.com today. That's PARC. Schedule a tour. Request a book. Book a consultation. And then look, you choose them, great. If not, still great for you, because all of a sudden you've showed that you give a damn. Okay, guys? It's Park 73. It's Oak Lodge. They're the best. oakparkevents.com. Ask the Bench. Close out the show next here on OTB.
Off the bench.
Go to All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge, allstartoyota of BatonRouge.com. Look, man, go get yourself a little Toyota Sienna, man. Get you one of them new ones. Get you a little hybrid like I got, where you save a ton of money on gas, but then you don't have to worry about things like plugging in your car or waiting 30 minutes for a charge or however the hell it is that a full EV works. But it's not just the Sienna. You want a Tundra, Tacoma, Highlander, RAV4, Camry. I've been in them all. And if you need a service center, all makes and models are welcome. Free professional estimates. Go to allstartoyota of BatonRouge.com today.
Yeah, no matter what you're trying to do, buying new, leasing, or renting, everything is available. Like we told you earlier in the show, multiple trucks, Tundra, Tacoma. They've got the Sienna minivan. They got the Sequoia, that full-size SUV. So they've got something for everybody. And we always tell you every single day as well that you're not going to find that anywhere else. And, buying new, yeah, sure, but not leasing and not the rental department. Go visit them online today, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
There's nothing chill about a hot, sweaty line. Unless you add mountain cold refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you.
Welcome back to Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Yo, what's happening, yo? Welcome back to OTB. Real quick before you get to Ask the Bench, brought to you by Cold Curds Live Visitor at Tulsa Blue Moon Light Sky, such a sweet. Look, shout out Tulane over the weekend, guys. That was a great game against Kansas State, and I know they end up on the wrong side of it, but Tulane has a very exciting combination right now. Okay, they have a very good coach in John Sumrall. And Darian Mensah looked like the best quarterback on that field. I know Avery Johnson gets the win. Avery Johnson's legs are great. He has work to do when it comes to trusting his arm. Darian Mensah was fitting balls in, playing with confidence. The fact that he was the third-string quarterback recently is insane to me. And yes, he did have the big mistake, right? He had the freshman mistake with the sack and the fumble that leads to a scoop and score. But what did he do next? He responds. He drives them all the way down the field. He looks like he comes up with a game-winning touchdown. I know Tulane fans are mad OPI was called. I think it was OPI, but whatever. It doesn't matter. The point is you got a great coach. You got a redshirt freshman quarterback that looks legitimate. You got – who's it this week? You got a big game Oklahoma this week, which actually looked very beatable, but in the AAC, Tulane as much of a favorite as anybody, not just this year, but going forward.
That's what I was going to say.
I would be very excited if I was a Tulane fan, even with the loss on Saturday.
Yeah, the program's different. The program is completely stable right now and only going upwards. And they're no longer like, hey, got to kind of watch out. You got Tulane on the schedule. They're like legit. Legit team that is – going to have the opportunity against a lot of big boys if you look at their future schedules. And, who's to say they can't be the Boise State, the Appalachian State when you play them? You got to know, but they're already kind of that. I think they can actually go ahead of that. You're in a state that has very good high school football, and, look, you're not going to get all the guys. Obviously, LSU is going to get the top guys. But if you fill in your roster with really talented football players in the state, you do a good job in Texas and Mississippi, it's not going away.
And it can be it's an attractive portal destination.
Absolutely.
In New Orleans, great stadium.
Great degree.
Some resources to work with. Yeah. Ask the Bench. Now that I'm single, should I head to Cadillac Lounge to go cougar hunting? Hey, man.
I don't know. Moose?
Yeah,
yes,
Moose.
no, I don't know.
No? You do.
Okay.
Ask the Bench. Did you hear the post-game call from Robbie, the Korean War vet? He is not a fan of Will Campbell. I can't read the insult that he said. Called him the Hollywood hairdresser with some other words thrown in. I did not hear that. Ask the Bench, when is your tea time? Can't golf today, unfortunately. We got to keep going to work. Freaking sucks.
Oh, I thought you were dressed. Oh, I didn't see the boots. Never mind.
No, I cosplay.
You're kind of dressed.
I cosplay for golf when we come out here to U Club.
Yeah, I don't own golf attire, so
how have you not stumbled your way into 37,000 LSU golf shirts?
I mean, I have.
I have never.
Okay,
I was gonna say I've never purchased a single LSU golf shirt.
I have the same shirt that you have.
And I
gave it to Jackson.
10,000. These are actually very comfortable. I don't love the look, but look at this stretch, guys.
I do.
Not bad. It's just not me. That's what I mean. It looks fine if this is your style.
Yeah. Golf cosplay is always. It's just funny to me. It's just funny.
Ask the Bench.
Those same people make fun of people that wear jerseys to games. I'm like, but you're dressed like you're playing 18.
Yeah.
To watch.
Who had the best uniform combo in NFL and college this week? And Tulane's were fantastic.
Always.
Ask the Bench, will Tulane beat LSU?
Always.
Probably not, but maybe. Ask the Bench, will BK be more willing to buy players after the bad luck of this year? Again, the buying thing, guys, I don't have an issue with. I don't want to give a guy $1 million that is not worth it when maybe my like star tackle is making like 500 or something. I'm just using hypotheticals here. That's not the problem. The problem is that you just didn't find more affordable, better guys at other positions through this offseason. You chose to stay pat, and you look really flawed personnel-wise because of it. Ask the bench. Did Lil Wayne get snubbed by not be named the Super Bowl halftime performer?
Who knows but who knows who's going to come out? Kendrick Lamar.
Oh.
It was announced yesterday.
Weird. In New Orleans?
Yeah.
Off the bench.
I love Kendrick. That's no problem. But that's an odd choice. Even if it's not Wayne, that's an odd choice to me. All right, guys. Great show today. Thank you so much. Go to AgTemp Baton Rouge, agtempbr.com. Not that you're going to have too many AC problems today, but if you ever do, your AC heating and electrical experts are AgTemp. Now, storm season is here, guys. Unfortunately, the first hurricane potentially on the way. If you want a whole home generator, AccuTemp is your answer to make that happen. They come out to your home, free estimate, let you know exactly how everything will play out. Go to AgTemp Baton Rouge, agtempbr.com.
Yeah, when you go to the website, top right corner of the website, click on the red box. Schedule that appointment. Chances are they're going to be out there today, and you're going to know exactly who is coming into your home. One of the great things about AccuTemp, they give you a little profile, a little bit about that person as well. So, look, you can trust AccuTemp. The internet hates everything, but it loves AccuTemp. Find those reviews online as well, accutempbr.com.
The best-kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.